I want to start the program off by doing something that we traditionally do here, and I want every single fucking crybaby, please, go to Bill Cunnilingus right now because he'll make you feel better about your lives, and he'll pacify you with what went wrong last night and that gigantic Eagle collapse against the Los Angeles Chargers. Because I've been fucking telling you here for 5 years about your quarterback. This is nothing new to me. He's a fucking caboose. You didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to hear all the times that I said, if that guy doesn't have something perfect around him and that team's not put up and has all the pieces around him, he's not good. You don't want to hear that. You didn't want to hear that. 5 years I've said this. 5 years I've been saying this. You don't want to hear it. Silz, did you hear Nick during the pregame with Kelsey when asked about the bunny? Said that was a Bob thing. So embarrassing. It wasn't A.J. Dillon. It was Bob. Bob did that for the fucking Hard Knocks. Bob Lane's such a... God, he's so bad for the city of Philadelphia. There's so many places to go that was wrong last night. The fucking coaching sucked. The quarterback was brutal. A.J. Brown's not on the same page with Jalen Hurts. The only thing that was redeeming was, once again, the defensive side of the ball. Kudos. I mean, you have to be so pissed off if you're the Eagle defense today. You're doing your best possible job every time you step on the field. Chicago now, you know what I think of Chicago? That was a one of. Because they're too good. The offensive coordinator sucks. How did you get here? 12 months ago, you were the champs. Now they're screaming, hollering about benching Jalen Hurts, which is almost impossible in today's NFL to even remotely go down that lane. You fucking gave the guy a no-trade clause, $250, $51 million. You're benching him for what? A guy who's thrown the ball 45 times? Are you sick? This is the guy you chose. This is the guy you're going to see with. I would never have had this guy as my starting quarterback. Like fucking ever. You chose this guy. You're rowing the boat with this dude. Hurts couldn't touch water if it fell out of a boat. By the way, Justin Herbert, now, if you want to use your stupid lines all the time about how you beat Allen and Joe Burrow and all the... Herbert's 2-0 against your guy now. How you doing? 2-0. Your place and his place. He owns you. He sucks as a quarterback. Every time he lines up against the Eagles, he wins. He's now 2-0 versus Prince Hurts. 2-0. He gutted that win out last night. What a gutsy performance. You lost to a one-handed quarterback and a guy with no offensive tackles. How you doing? And a kicker. And a pretty good defense. Chargers are a good team. That's not a great team. Here, let me get to the open here. 22-19. Third straight loss. It's easy to go to the quarterback first, but let me go to AJ. Hey, bro, you got to do your part too. You were great in moments and awful in key moments. AJ, you don't get a passing grade for that game. You get a failure grade. Because when you were counted on the most, getting your yards is not what being the best receiver in football is about. Getting yards in critical moments, helping your football team, that's what makes you the best. And you failed. I don't give a shit if he had 300 receiving yards. Hey, by the way, I think the drops and the misconnects with Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, this is deeper than just drops. There's something more to this. They're not on the same page at all. Dude, the best pass of the night was the last pass to him. It was dropped in there, right in your hands. You got to catch that ball, son. Or guess what? You aren't the best receiver in the league that I thought. You are not the best wide receiver in the NFL that I thought you were. You're not. The best wide receivers in football make that fucking catch. They make that catch. Okay? You want to be the best? Act like it. Act like it. By the way, that's on you. F grade for him. F. Jesus criminy. What a debacle. I'm going to get to Jalen here in a minute. But we also have people that also are going to take it in the face here too. What in the world is Nick Sirianni doing with Jalen Hurts? The coaching staff has fucked this guy up so bad. You have one problem in Philadelphia. Why are you always fucking your quarterbacks up? You fucked Wentz up. Now you're screwing up Hurts. Do you have any idea what you're doing with these men? As you give them the money, you see the talent, and you don't know how to develop them. You got Hurts throwing the ball 40 times when your running game was getting going? What are you thinking? I see Herbert running with a will to survive and a drive with one hand while Hurts stands there and refusing to do the only thing that he is consistent at, and that's running. Correct. Thank you. That offense is completely a clusterfuck. Why do we keep hiring these training wheel idiots? It makes no sense. You have screwed Hurts up so beyond repair, I don't know if you can bring him back. He's regressed so bad as a player, and I think that's got a lot to do with the way you've coached him. Last year, you did no coaching. Listen, every one of you fought me on this. You know what your line was last year? Your fucking line was, we didn't have to pass. We had a generational running attack, and it was the greatest running attack. We didn't really need it. Yeah, you did. That means you just don't stop developing the quarterback. He's the most important player in your huddle. Barkley's not the most important player in your huddle. The quarterback is. In today's NFL, that player is the most important player you have. It's why you pay him 50. Nope, they didn't give a shit. Then what do? They turn around and they hire a nobody who was passed over twice that I brought up. And I said, you only hire coaches to help Nick. You don't hire coaches to help Jalen. That's playing out. Listen, this season has been handled poorly by the owner, the GM, the head coach, and the players. Every single person this year has handled this football season poorly. Nobody is there without some type of cause. You know, the only people I'm going to give a pass on is the blowtorch defense that's playing the best of their abilities. And by the way, that coach is worth every cent they're paying him, and I'm talking Vic Fangio. He is worth every cent that you're paying him. He's the only guy keeping you in the games. I mean, The defense is the only thing keeping you in the ball game. Now let's get to Jalen Hurts. Do you want to hear something? If Jalen Hurts spiked the football every single attempt that he had last night, he would have had a higher quarterback rating than what he had last night. He's getting worse. There's no debating it. He's getting worse. And here's the problem with the head coach. He's not a problem solver. It's now becoming evident. The two people in the building have no answers. The quarterback and the head coach. Sirianni has no answers. None. What happened? You were constantly beating up Herbert all night. You were running the football. Why did you stick with it? Why was it so important for you to have a good hard knocks that your quarterback was put on display for the TV screen and for HBO to show that he could throw the ball? Why else would you go away from that? You know why? How many people in here saw the difference in the approach? Because Nick's a passing coordinator. So he thought he'd do that to Jalen. He gave him Phillip Rivers' game plan. Bit him in the face. Guy's a shitty coach. If Jalen continues to decline after next season, well, Howie and Laurie contemplate walking away from him. And what the cap hit will be, we'll hit on that. Xander, I just missed the super. Penn, I'll look that up. It's not going to be next year, bro. You got this guy for the... By the way, he's got a no trade, Penn. Stop with that. Penn, he's got his own destiny in his hand. I told you that when he signed him to the contract, and Nicole Lynn had that in that deal. When Philly gave him the no trade, you don't have any leverage. What leverage do you have? You have zero. He has no trade. Trade him to the Raiders? You can't. Xander, I missed the super. If we can go, it's a blue one. Guys, I'm going to get to the quarterback here in his play last night and his decision-making, which was all over the place. Silz, truest take. If Jalen throws more, we lose. Right. Right. Every time he gets above 25 attempts, you're going to lose the ball game. It's not his game. That's not what's in his toolbox. Getting benched. For who? You're going to bench a quarterback who 12 months ago was a Super Bowl MVP. You're paying him $50. You've built that offensive game plan, and it's December 9th. Who are you, the Browns? People like the Browns do that shit. Wild thought, but was this coming from Laurie to Sirianni to open up the playbook and see how Jalen would perform with high volume passing? No, that's who guys, that's who Nick Sirianni is. He's a high volume passing coordinator. You got the wrong coordinator again for Hurts. There's not one coach in that building who fits Jalen Hurts' skill set. How is that not on display? Nick Sirianni, you know why you guys keep screaming for Tanner McKee? Because Tanner fits what Nick does in play calling. Let's first go what happened, then we're going to get more into Hurts here. Holy cow, what a debacle. Every metric last night, except those turnovers. You had 7 sacks on Herbert. You held him to 275 yards, and you lost because, once again, What's the most important number? What's the most important number? You know what it is? 4-13 on third down again. Xander, I missed a couple blues on supers. By the way, supers go to the top. Please hit the like button. Hey, you were right. Wish the Eagles the best. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, I guess. We saw this 5 years ago. This day was coming. Hurts or Sirianni got to go. Can't run this back. By the way, this day was coming. I didn't know when. But with a guy with lesser skill set, it's going to be quicker to figure him out. You guys kept telling me, Silz, what do you think Jalen Hurts' ceiling is? He doesn't have a ceiling. This is who he is. There's no ceiling here. Every metric, every single metric, you won it. Look at Justin Herbert, man. 12 of 26, 139 yards, but look at the other number. If you told me the guy who was going to win the game with his legs last night was going to be Justin Herbert, I would have said you were nuts. 66 tough-ass yards to get his football team to win. What an absolute gutty performance by that guy. I gained so much more respect for that dude. Make no mistake about it. Hey, by the way, let me go back on one thing here. And let's get into it now with him. He can't read defenses. He's terrible in pressure in the pocket. He's not very accurate. And when you have to ask him to do high volume like they did at the beginning of 24 in those first 4 games, he's a turnover machine. Hence, Jalen Hurts can't win football games from the pocket. It's impossible. He's not that good. He's just not that good. I love getting Wentz and unapproached descriptions of Hurts this year. Good football player, poor quarterback. That $51 million was supposed to be his passing and running, especially at the time we didn't pay running backs. Without him running, he's not worth the 51. See if I thought I missed maybe this one here. So Sirianni got to go. We got those. Yeah, Sirianni, we got to go. 2 collapsed years. Only way to salvage Hurts' career, you got to fire Nick. I mean, you got to bring a coach in for him. No wonder they didn't want to hire Cliff Kingsbury. He would have took Nick's job. Dude, this is a train wreck. And it's unfolding. This is not going to get better. You're not fucking winning nothing. Hey, you know what? I listened to Birds 365 today. I hate to tell these people and everybody around you. You're now in the world of wishful thinking. Hope. Maybe they turn it around. If they lose here. You've got question marks more now on a defending Super Bowl team than I've ever seen anybody in my entire life have questions on a returning champion. You're hoping and wishing and benching of quarterback. What a fucking meltdown. A complete nuclear meltdown. You want to bench Hurts? That's the narrative going on in Philly now, is benching Jalen Hurts. Hey, Silz, I predicted 1-4 down the stretch now. I got us finishing 8-9. Raiders coin flip. Give Hurts 2 choices. Bench or pick your 5 teams. Z, I just missed another super. I appreciate you guys rolling in here. Please hit that like button. Foles came in late and delivered. Nick Foles has a Pro Bowl he had a Pro Bowl resume where he threw 26 touchdowns and 2 picks. You ain't got that on your bench. You don't have a veteran quarterback. Who, Sam Howell? Tanner McKee is not Nick Foles. By the way, you couldn't trade Jalen Hurts. To who? Jim Harbaugh? Kyle Shanahan? Who are you trading him to? Who would want that? Guy can't read defenses. Where you going with him? Do you know what this looks like to me? This looks like a pro level Alabama situation. You're figuring it out because they figured him out. He's not very good as a passer. This is what Nick Saban knew years ago. Just took you longer to figure him out. Dude, who's Cataldi playing with today? Bobo called good plays. I don't think he was good. I think Nick and him were terrible last night. Spreading the ball around, throwing it across the middle of the field. That's not. So what? You spread it around. There was even motion. I knew Nick was involved as soon as I saw the motion. As soon as I saw the motion, I said Nick Sirianni's involved. 4 interceptions. So wait a minute. He called a good game, and he had 4 picks and 5 turnovers. Got it. Got it. He's getting worse. And you're helping. Not you, but the organization's helping. Poor coaching, a player who's not plugged into him, and AJ. AJ doesn't believe Hurts. Hey, get this. Think about something here for a second. Okay? Think about this here for a second. If you guys want to bench Jalen Hurts, what you saw last night, you think AJ Brown has confidence in Jalen? By the way, or Jalen confidence in AJ? How do you think that relationship's looking right now? Both guys don't trust one another. Both guys can't count on one another. And it's reflecting in their play. You got a relationship problem there, let alone a production problem. AJ got his 100 yards. He got an F in my book last night because the plays they really needed, I didn't need those other bullshit plays. I needed the plays you dropped. Those were the game changers. I mean, Eagles are screwed. All 3 big money is coming due. They won't be able to keep the loaded roster around Jalen, which is the only way he can win. Yeah. Looky here. I'm going to say it very clearly to you again. Being right, that's not stuff you pat on your back and you go, hey, told you. But dude, I'm not surprised you're here. You are. You're the one surprised. I'm not. That's why when I do a post-game show with John and Xander, those guys look surprised. I'm not. I knew this day was coming. I knew this time was coming. He didn't have long. 5 years. You got 5 years out of Hurts. You got great production out of it. This is not going to get better. I'm announcing a change as of today. I'm a Packer fan. I will also root for OKC Thunder. Thanks, Silz, for the memories. It's been real, bro. Thank you, Leon. I appreciate it. Get this. I'm not surprised. Not. The most incredible thing that Jalen Hurts did in this 5 years of starting was totally win the Super Bowl. Kudos to him. It's a crowning achievement in his career. It's over. They figured the dude out. How's he going to evolve? He doesn't have the skill set to evolve. That's not Justin Herbert. That's not Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. He doesn't have the skill to do it. That's not a skilled player. That's a great athlete. Not going anywhere. He doesn't have the propensity to elevate his game because he doesn't have the skill to elevate. That's not an NFL quarterback. It's a gadget. This is why I talk to you all the time about skill. Skill's going to take you places. Loaded teams. When that loaded team is no longer there, all of your failures come out around you. Hey, by the way, Jalen Carter felt a little bit of that when he didn't have skilled people around him. You put some better people like Jalen Phillips around him, all of a sudden, guess what? Holy shit. Guy's play steps up. Dude, there is no doubt that front office, after what they've been witnessing, do you know something over the last 9 games? You're 4-5. With the first month of the season, I call Liars Month. After the first month of the season, you're 4-5. And since the Super Bowl, Philadelphia Eagles are 8-6. 9-5 since the Super Bowl. 9-5. That's in the middle of the room. You're not even as good as the Bears right now. Get this. Those guys are superior to Jalen Hurts. Having a ring had nothing to do with last night's disaster. Forrest, look at this guy. This is the typical glazed donut Eagle guy. Josh Allen, still no ring. Lamar, no ring. Burrow got there, no ring. So what? Your guy is nowhere in the conversation next to those guys. Not even in the room. Get this. Superior to Jalen Hurts, yet how's their teams? You said it. How's your fucking team? Jalen Hurts doesn't. They've got to carry their games. When Hurts was asked to carry his team, he can't. Hurts was carried to the Super Bowl last year by the great engine known as the Barkley train. Are you fucking trying to argue with me that Jalen Hurts has more skill than Joe fucking Burrow? Where in the world would you begin to think that, except that you are a glazed donut? How the hell do you even begin to go there? That fucking guy can't read a defense. Hurts is between Brad Johnson and Delfer. Those guys won Super Bowls. Okay. Get back to winning games, playing boring ball. The hell with AJ and his numbers. Win the turnover battle and win games. Yes. If Jalen had an OC for 2 or more years, he'd be, yes. Yes, I agree. The coaches are stupid and Hurts is limited. Doesn't make for a very good combination, right? Doesn't, right? Hey, Silz, we're going to start talking about next year now. Anything positive? Yes, there is. Jordan Davis playing great football. Yes, sir. I thought he was a force last night. Yes, sir. He was a force last night. I thought Q was spectacular. I thought Cooper DeJean was spectacular. Dude, N'Kobe Dean on a blitz, that guy's a missile. Shit, the backup kid, Young, he stepped up with a sack and a half. Jalen Phillips was great. The whole defense, everything. Adoree Jackson was great. Every single thing on that side of the football was spectacular. 275 yards you held the Jim Harbaugh offense to. Kudos to you. Hey, dude, you took a blowtorch to that defense. And Vic's making it work. What are you doing on offense? You lost one guy. As we told you, Jalen Hunt would get better by the end of the year, and he is. Jalen isn't him, man. I can't defend him anymore. Can't read a defense, go through progressions, bad timing. How he needs to pull a Wentz 2.0 with Jalen. How about this one too, Leon? How many times did Aikman make the comments last night? I thought he was being very critical of Jalen last night, but he was right. He doesn't think Jalen Hurts is a very good quarterback in progression reading. And it was evident. There were guys wide open. He goes, man, if that guy doesn't see his first read, he takes it and runs because he can't read a defense. He's not very good in the pocket. All the shit that has trailed him from Alabama was on display last night. Silz, when will Laurie relinquish control? We need a head coach in charge of personnel, coaching, and scheme. Howie's strength is accounting, not football. I think Howie has gotten better at personnel. I do. By the way, you've been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, right? Howie's great every other year. That's the way it's gone. That's how an accountant does it. Well, we got salary cap, so I got to get rid of this, to get rid of that, and to pay this, to pay that. That's why you have interchangeable parts on defense. I tried pointing every single, traditionally, what I've done on my radio shows when I was doing radio, every topic I throw out at you, I'm not doing it just to throw a topic, just to make time. When I told you that you never had a contract on that side of the defensive side of the ball with a guy having a second contract, that was by design by the Eagles. That's where they get their offensive money from. They pilfered the defensive side of the ball to pay the offense because this league's about offense. Well, that's bitten them in the ass because that offense is not getting it done. Franchise quarterbacks don't need perfect situations. Jalen is an NFL athlete, not an NFL quarterback. As long as we have no running game, his major limitations will show. Yes. And him not running in that offense. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Cuz, how you doing, bro? Merry Christmas. That was a brutal game to watch on both ends. A.J. Brown looks disinterested, looks like he's only engaged when the ball is coming to him. Yes. Cuz, let me tell you something. When the ball doesn't come to him, watch him in the off ball. This guy's got a little Randy Moss in his ass right now. Absolutely. Terrible, man. That was a brutal performance last night by A.J. Brown, the coaching staff, the quarterback. Get this. Why is it only on the offensive side of the football that we're seeing these problems? You know why? Because the head coach is not good. He's not good. How many fucking times do I have to tell you that? He's not a problem solver. Do you know last night, Jim Harbaugh and Herbert had no answers for the pressure that the Eagles were putting on a one-handed quarterback. You know what they did? Hey, Justin, you got to run. You want to win this game and save the season? You got to take off running because they're not accounting for you. That's what he did. He did what it took to win the game. Justin Herbert not winning a game with his arm is like saying Jalen Hurts won a game with his arm. Are you fucking crazy? Sirianni's such a bad coach. And you gloss over that win percentage like it's his. He is a product of the environment. If Jalen Hurts is a caboose, he's in the next car up. I could get another ass kisser in there to do the same shit he does. He's an ass kisser. And you bought it. Every day you fought me on it. Next, look at his win percentage. He's the greatest coach in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. Really? That might have been one of the worst quarterback games in the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl era last night by that guy. Eagle defense was spectacular. Spectacular. And if you are going to get to a divisional game, it's going to be all that defense. By the way, you're not flipping a switch. Stop with hope. Go out and fucking play a game. Hey, thank God, guess what you got coming up? For all you Jalenites and all you Eagle guys who will drink the Kool-Aid, you got the Raiders coming up. You know where we'll be next week on Monday? Look, Silz, we're back. Yeah, I know. Just like after the Giant game. You slipped on the banana peel again. That's okay. I'll wait another 5 months before you see the light. Do you understand this coming weekend? It's fool's gold. It's the Raiders. Sirianni, the luggage compartment. Jordan Davis is not making all pro. Please stop. Pro Bowl, yeah. All pro? You think that guy's Chris Jones? Really? Or Quinnen Williams? Not likely. Silz, this is the result of power structure being in the front office from front office controls the offense and there are no in-game solutions. Vic controls the defense and handles his business. Absolutely right. Vic Fangio's the dictator, he's the director, and he's also the motivator. Do you know that Vic probably has more control over his entire unit than Nick Sirianni has over his entire team? By the way, you're in the conversation. Do you remember that topic I brought up and said, hey, Howie Roseman mortgaged the 2025 season for 26 and 27? Here it is. Here it is. How about all of the media glazed donut guys like Bill Colarudo who just take a knee for Hurts and just come up with these fucking maniac comments that the guy's good. That guy thinks that guy's good. He's not. The guy's not good. He is a decent ball player on a loaded football team. Hey, do you remember when I asked you, do you have to be exceptional at quarterback to get to a Super Bowl? You know what all of you said? No. Then you realize I was setting you up. Oh, that's right. Now you're saying that you don't have to be exceptional to get to a quarterback. I don't think Colin Kaepernick was exceptional. I don't think Jake Delhomme was exceptional. I don't think Jeff Hostetler was exceptional. I don't think any of those guys were exceptional. I don't think Rex Grossman was exceptional. They all got to Super Bowls. Those guys aren't exceptional. You don't have to be an exceptional quarterback to go to a Super Bowl at quarterback. The history of the Super Bowl era will tell you that. Brad Johnson, Jimmy G, pick one. Those aren't exceptional players. Those are really good players. No shade. But stop with that. Well, Jalen went to a Super Bowl and he's got an MVP. So did fucking Jim Plunkett. Jim Plunkett's got 2 Super Bowl rings and an MVP in the game. Is he exceptional? Or was he on that Raider team that was exceptional? Nick Foles is a backup quarterback. He got a ring and an MVP. Is he exceptional? Kerry Collins went to a Super Bowl with the Giants. Stop with that. I mean, seriously. You guys waved that MVP at me like that's a barometer that, well, he's great too. No, he's not. Why so long for Covey to take punts? Weird, no? It's because, you know why? The organization always tries to outsmart itself. Instead of going like this, well, the guy's done it for a long period of time. He's better at it than the other guy because the other guy can't and doesn't know where he is on the field on punt returns. Let's put Covey in. As simple as that. And plus, you'd have more confidence because you know the guy played for you. Okay? Foles was a runner-up MVP. What year was that? That 26-2 season? He made the Pro Bowl that year. How many Hurt Vengers switching up? Gotta love it. Oh, wait. Are you flip-flopping? Oh, yeah. Let's have that conversation. What's going on with the media in Philly right now flip-flopping on Hurts? You want to bench the guy now? Talk about fucking flip-flopping. You're a glazed donut in this guy the entire offseason. I'm sitting there listening to this going, only a matter of time. They'll figure this guy out. I knew it. I knew it the whole time. It's not why I never changed. I said the kid's resume is great. It is. As a player, I never changed. I never changed. What's this? Best players should play? What fucking world do you live in? That's not the world of the NFL, dude. Business of the NFL also is part of it all. What are you, crazy? I want to put the best guy in. What do you think, this is Alabama? Hurts was exceptional on that day. I don't know about exceptional. I thought he was really good that day. Super Bowl? Yeah. I thought the defense was better, but okay. The business is winning, Silz. Come on. Bro. Nate, get this. You know, Kyler Murray wasn't benched. He was put on the sidelines because of injuries. Name me another $50 million quarterback that you can remember that was benched. And when you say Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, he was 38 years old or 36 years old in Denver. Okay. You benched a $42 million quarterback at 36 years old. You're talking about a 27-year-old guy in his prime coming off the Super Bowl. That guy was at least 10 years removed from the Super Bowl. Russell Wilson wasn't the same guy. He's 36 years old. Russell Wilson at 27 was in Super Bowls. You love to see Jalen failing. I love to see Jalen failing. I don't give a fuck about Jalen Hurts or anyone else. I don't fall in love with these guys. I fall in like with them. Unlike some of you glazed donuts. My God, oh my God. What are you, fucking weird? Weirdos. Dude, love your team. Players, pawn pieces. Stop acting like you're 4 years old and you've got like a blow-up doll or you wear their jerseys. What are you, dumb? By the way, for the record, I don't mind people wearing jerseys. I actually don't mind that. I dig some of those old school jerseys. Every time I see a JB jersey, I love it. So I shouldn't say that because I do love the gear. Silz, last year we had no holes defense. This year we have shit stew offense. The 2024 offensive ingredients have gone bad and how we used for the 2025 stew. Time to go shopping again. Look at that face. I love that face of Philly 500 here. Okay? What's this got to do with me? Play better, kid. Big Silz just points out you're not that good. And you prove it. 2025 is the unveiling of the guy that I knew you had. The Super Bowl was just going to be the beginning. By the way, that's the face of Jordan? Sounds like to me that's the face of like Chuck Taylor's. That's the face of Jordan? I think you need a new brand there, guy. MJ, you better get another dude on the yacht. I mean, who wants to see a guy that has 2 turnovers in 1 play? First time in NFL history I've ever seen something like that. Dude, seriously, man. You're like the face of Pro Keds. You don't even know what that is. That's a brand that was discontinued of shoes when we were all kids. Hush puppies. I used to work them though. Hey, I get it. Hurts is the face of baby oil. No, come on here now, man. Okay? Pro Cats for all those moments make you feel like Skechers. He's the face of Skechers. How you doing? Yeah, BK's. He's the face of LA Gear. Holy shit, man. He was fucking brutal last night. Jesus criminy. Where to go? Now, how many people want to bench this guy? By the way, Angelo Cataldi will be with us at 4:30. Howard Eskin will be with us at 3:30. Big Z will follow it up and close us home. Hey, Silz, watch this team for a long time. It's always been front office. We are good every other year. Hurts needs a coach. Haven't had one since Shane. Very true. Yes. Yes. Eskin's right. Hey, by the way, Eskin said the best quarterback's not the one starting. How's that look now? How's that take a Howard's now? You know, Xander said something interesting a couple months ago when Howard said that. Xander goes, you know, I wonder how wild that will be in a couple months. Doesn't sound so wild now. I saw Jeff McClain with his editor put a thing out. Philadelphia has a quarterback problem, folks. What? Philadelphia has a quarterback problem? Philadelphia has a quarterback problem. This is wild. I was the only guy on the island for 5 years. Oh, you guys kicking my ass, telling me, fucking, you're crazy. This guy's this guy's Joe Burrow. He's Josh Allen. He's this. I'm like, what are you looking at? Where in your right mind would you even go there? As a skilled player, he's nowhere in the top 15. Dude, guys like Trevor Lawrence are more skilled. Silz, the next month is Jalenite's going to be miserable. This shit's going to be interesting for the offseason. Look at this guy here. One bad game. One bad game. He's calling me delusional. I'm going to let that hang there. He's not the only idiot like that in Philly. One bad game with an offense that's been 26 for 2 years. Let's see here. Where are we now? So we got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we got 13 games in, right? They're 8-5. Am I right when I say that? Are they 8-5 now? Okay. So a year ago, you were 13 and what? 13 and 4? 14 and 3, something like that, right? And this year you're 8-5. So let's see here. 22 for 30 games. Your offense has been ranked 25th. One game? Ring means dick. 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 Holy cow. Hey, Glazed Donut, you better go sit down, man. I'm sure your hiney hurts. There's no doubt that guy uses the word hiney. That guy uses the word hiney. Silz couldn't wait for this. Oh, it was only a matter of time. Remember something, my friend. I've been doing this shit too long here, man, to be wrong. I do this shit too long to be wrong. You fucking kidding me? I've been doing this shit too long to be wrong. Only a matter of time. Just like when the guy was on the movie The Titanic. Hey, bailing water only buys you time. It's mathematics. Shit's fucking going down. Big Silz burying Jalenites like Tony Montana burying cockroaches in Scarface. And the bad guy. That's what they're calling me now, the Philly bad guy. Sileo was right in the end. Big Silz right like that fucking hat. That says Dan Sileo was right all along. Here we are. It's funny, every time I go into JAKIB postgame show, I'm sitting there doing this. You know, everyone's talking about Jalen's inefficiencies. And Johnny Mac has. He has. But I guess it's the way we said it from day one. The guy's a stiff in the pocket. He's right there with Joe Burrow and Justin Hurt. And you're like, what are you fucking looking at? What are you looking at? Bro, look at... So hold up. You hold stats and rankings higher than wins. Spoken like a true loser, my guy. Folks, these are people you're not going to change the opinion of. It's shit like that. I heard, hey, listen here, man. I heard Johnny Sacks never really liked you. I'm kidding. What do Georgia, Miami, Ole Miss, and Indiana have in common? During the college playoff? How you doing? And no Notre Dame. Football is relatively easy, win or lose. Dude, you're a fucking doomcoff. I mean, seriously. I saw you in my toilet bowl prior to the show. It was spinning in the toilet. What's the worst that could happen if they put in McKee? Maybe Jalen wakes up. Maybe Tanner improves the offense. We saw that in late 18 with Foles. So wait, you're going to – Wentz went down with a knee injury. You're going to say, Jalen, come here. 12 months ago, you won the MVP. Congratulations. He helped us get to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. I want you to sit your ass over there. Why, coach? Well, we want to see what the fuck's going on. That coach is going to make that decision? Oh, how about this? I can only hope they do that. for my show. I pray they put Tanner McKee in. It'll be the end of Jalen Hurts. And here's the problem, though. You're going to have to pay him for the next 2 years. What do you think? You're just going to trade him? Hey, I'm going to send you to Tennessee. The dude has a no-trade clause. You know what he could tell Jeffrey Lurie? You know what he could tell Howie Roseman? Fuck you. I'm not going anywhere. Nicole Lynn, his agent, gave him the keys to the city of Philadelphia. No trade? Do you understand? The player has complete autonomy on where he goes. Do you think Clutch Sports and all those people are going to just say, hey, screw it. You know that no trade we have in there? We'll blow that off. Your asses are hostage for the next 2 years. You want to bench that guy? I see the headlines all over Philadelphia and all over the Inquirer now. That guy's got no trade. You know what that means? Sit the fuck down and shut up. You ain't going anywhere. And if you want to play a seventh rounder, that's on you. I'm still getting $51 million. And unless you send me to a place I want to go, shut your mouth. How you doing? That's what no trade means, folks. You want to bench him. For what? You made your bed. You're laying in it now. You thought this guy was this and that. I never did. And now you're trying to sit here and tell me, let's put McKee in. What do you think this is like? Your local high school, St. Joe's? I'm going to put the guy in behind him. The fuck is that? I mean, the business of football plays into this. Benching him? Silz, I'm going to use a Cat Williams line. Hurts fans think he's a Chrysler 300, but he thinks he's a Phantom. That's a Rolls. I do know that. I've been in a Phantom. Pretty dope. Bro, he's got no trade. Well, maybe it'll wake. Yeah, that's it. So when you're in the conversation with all the rest of the NFC teams, you're going to bench your quarterback for one shitty game? I will go with that idiot on that. I'm not benching him. That's conversation for the offseason. Whether or not he's the future of your football team is the question moving forward. If you could trade Jalen Hurts to Minnesota, and would they take him? I don't know. I wouldn't take him. He can't read defenses. I've been saying that for 5 years. Troy Aikman last night was undressing Jalen Hurts on the style of how he plays in the pocket. I text Troy. Troy's going like this after the game. He can't read a fucking playbook, let alone a defense. There were guys wide open everywhere. By the way, A.J. Brown dropping those passes last night, he's got to get his head out of his ass. Dude, you make $36 million fucking dollars. You get 100 yards in a game, it's irrelevant if you drop those 3 critical plays in the game. That's ridiculous. He's not on the same page either. Listen, I can't, all of a sudden now, get this, like I said, I was the only one in Philly, only one, you know this, that was saying the guy's limited. You don't want to hear it. Well, on December 9th, we're here. On December 9th, we're here. Hurts is the Helen Keller of quarterbacks. How you doing? Thank you, Urban Cowboy. Dan, you're full of shit. If you think no team in the NFL wouldn't be happy to have Hurts. Like who? The Titans? This guy can't read NFL defenses. Did you not hear an NFL Hall of Fame quarterback saying that last night? Not a scrub NFL player like me. Did you not hear an NFL Hall of Fame guy saying the same shit I did? He can't read a defense. All night long, he said it. By the way, for the record, I think the coaching has accentuated that. They have screwed that guy up beyond recognition with their incompetence. Do you think AJ played well enough to help us win? Kind of. Kind of. Dan, would you take Caleb over Hurts? No, because I think Caleb Williams blows too. I would take Ben Johnson. I would take Ben Johnson over Sirianni every day. Any day I would take Ben Johnson. You know, I hear John talking and glazing over Nick Sirianni all the time and his win percentage. Does that guy look like he knows what he's doing as a coach when I watch Ben Johnson scheming up run plays for Caleb Williams? The difference between Ben Johnson and Nick Sirianni, you don't see that yourselves with your eyeball test? You really don't see that? I mean, you don't see how he is making Chicago better with limited parts. Man, I don't know how you don't see that. Well, Nick's got a win percentage, so he must be better than Ben Johnson. Really? On what metric? Oh, well, he's got a higher win percentage. So you think that Nick Sirianni's a better coach than Parcells? Bill Walsh? Bill Belichick? Based on that? Man. If Hurts has it in his head that he doesn't really want to run anymore, you're not trading him anywhere. Right. That is part of it too. Where's the different run schemes from Stoutland? Who's calling and designing the offense? Stoutland can give you. Do you know what position coaches do, Mikey? They give suggestions on the playbook, on the game plan, I should say. Here's the suggestions of runs we should have in this game. The offensive coordinator takes the suggestions and either does this or he implements some of this. He doesn't do all of it. He's the run coordinator. That doesn't mean he has final say. Final say comes down to the guy in control of the offensive scheme and also in-game adjustments, in-game approach, in-game play calling. Jeff Stoutland's not a play caller. He can only suggest. Where's Jeff Stoutland? Same place Jeff Stoutland was a year ago. What do you think? Jeff Stoutland's doing something different this year than he did a year ago? No, he's not. Bunny in locker room. What is this? Playboy Mansion? Stupid. Stupid shit. Bob Lang put the sex doll in the Eagle locker room. Bob Lang. That piece of shit PR guy for the Eagles put that guy in there. Jesus Christ, is he a stupid dope? He did it for the Hard Knocks thing. That guy is sinister. He was sinister in San Francisco, and he's sinister now. You got one of the worst public relations people that has ever lived in Philly. He is, listen, you talk propaganda, Hair Bob is so bad at his job, he doesn't care who he fucking steps over. Why do you think he hates this show? Because we call his ass out. Oh, by the way, A.J. Brown having a bad game last night? Yeah. The end is near. You're not going to scapegoat Hurts. You're going to coddle Hurts. And you're going to shit on A.J. A.J.'s a better player than anything Hurts will ever hope to be. For his player and his skill and his position, Hurts could only hope to be in that conversation of being the best player at his position. I think AJ needs an attitude adjustment. I think he needs a coach like Mike Tomlin. Sit there and tell him, you need to fucking make plays, kid. If you can coach Antonio Brown and George Pickens, you can coach him. You need to play your ass off, son. Okay? Eye test. Hurts throws 4 picks against the Raiders. You wouldn't bench him? Listen, if they start losing games like that, that conversation could get real. I watch football all day, Sonny, and every day, every announcer said, man, what a great play design, at least once in a game. We haven't heard that. No, your coaches blow. Your head coach blows, your coordinator blows, and the quarterback can't read a defense. Where did you think you were going to be with this? And the only thing you lost was a right guard. You got the same dudes back. Hey, I thought Barkley was okay last night. How come they didn't stick with that? It was almost like they were appeasing somebody. Let's throw the ball. Dude, are you doing that shit for Hard Knocks? Because if you're doing that for that shit, you know Jeffrey Lurie is a movie producer. I don't know. Let's throw the ball in these games. I couldn't, for the life of me. You know, there was a time when I was telling you, Eagles aren't changing their philosophy. Eagles aren't changing their philosophy. Eagles aren't changing their philosophy. Last night they did. And I was like, wait a minute. Silz, if they put Tanner in as a starter for the next game, don't you think that would wake Jalen the fuck up? Nope. I don't think it'd do anything that hurts. I think it'd make the Eagles look poor. You made your bed, man. Lay in it. This is your fucking deal. This is your guy. You made your bed. You gave him the no trade. You gave him the $250 million. You crowned him the Prince of Philly. You did all that inside this last year. Now you're going back on it? Hey, you're the ones that are changing, not me. I knew it. I told you this day's coming. Here it is. February 9th, 2025. The undressing of Hurts. The emperor has no clothes. Hey. Howard Eskin's going to join us in a couple minutes. Bottom of the hour. I guess that take on and by Howard a couple months ago don't quite look that stupid now, does it? What made you want to cover the Eagles out of 32 NFL teams besides the Bucs? Real talk. JAKIB came to me, and I had no idea what I was getting into. And I went to work for those two guys. Covering the Eagles, I was actually supposed to be covering more NFL teams. Probably do a little bit more of that this coming season. But to me, I started falling in love with you guys. Real talk. I don't give a shit either way about the Eagles. I cover you. That's why I give you objective views, not glazed donut views. Real talk. So, I mean, and I happen to think you're one of the more polarizing teams. I never thought that. I never thought. Hey, by the way, I pray you bench Hurts. I'm telling you reality. But personally, oh my God, it'd be the greatest thing for me on the planet if you bench his ass. Because it just show you how chaotic the whole fucking thing is if you benched him. It'd be great. That would even be more of a comment and more of a statement that I've been making, that the front office pulls all the strings and holds all the strings. If you bench, that ain't going to be. You think that's a Nick Sirianni deal? If you bench Jalen Hurts, that's a Jeffrey Lurie deal. There's only one guy in the building that can make that happen. That's the owner. You're asking did Nick Sirianni bench Jalen Hurts? He doesn't have that autonomy in the locker room. He doesn't have that say. Who are you kidding? Going to bat? That's how you heard that? No, he's your boy. You made your bed. You lay in it. Come hell or high water. This is what you wanted. This is what they wanted. I never really ever thought it would last long. 5 years? I thought he'd get 8 years out of it, to be candid. I thought he would have got hurt sooner, but he didn't. His ability just showed up. Get this. He's not even being pulled for injury. He's being pulled because he sucks. I thought Saquon was good last night. I promised Saquon. He should have stuck with running the ball. One bad game, 5 years. That's what this guy says. Hey, glazed donut. There's 1,000 of these guys that think that. 1,000 of these guys that think that shit. Dude, let me you see this guy, Craven here? That number by the end of the year will be like a small minority that still believes that. It's happening. Only a matter of time. Still need to play more of Tank. Okay? What did Saquon end up last night with? Saquon was 6 yards a carry, 122 yards rushing, a 52-yard TD run. That's who he is. He's a little bit of Barry Sanders. You're going to get 5, 6, 7, 19, this, 7, 8, 52. That's Saquon Barkley 2024, right there in a nutshell. 20 carries, 122, 52-yard rushing touchdown. That's who the guy is. I actually thought Dallas Goedert played well. I did. I thought Goddard played well. When this season is finally over, the Eagles are watching the Super Bowl. Is Sirianni's job secure? Probably one more year. Dude, he's a yes man. You think that guy's got any say on anything? Hey, Mr. Hill, do you know why I say that about Nick? Every single press conference he gets into, he brings out the Howie Roseman knee pads, walks around the facility all day long on his knees, and he's looking up at Howie, and Howie's only 5'1". I mean, when you walk around on your knees, bro, you don't stand up for anything. He's the ultimate ass kisser. We want Tanner, Peyton, McGrady. Bro, you guys are nuts when you say this. Hey, let's put Tanner McKee in over Hurts. Are you fucking crazy? You're going to bench a Super Bowl MVP from 12 months ago. 12 months ago. $51 million with a no trade. You guys are ridiculous. Hurts is going to tell that organization, and so is Nicole Lynn, to kiss their ass. You're out of your mind. You have no leverage with Jalen. Fucking crazy. You made your bed. You signed a deal. You gave him the parameters of the contract. Now you want to bench him? That's very Philly. Bro, that's your captain. You're rowing out the fucking sea with that guy. DP does not support Jalen Alexander Hurts since day one. It's been Brian Pumper's initiative to take down all that is holy, the Jalenites. Don't get mad at me, Twiz, because I've been telling you the truth for 5 years. I did. We can't bench him, but I also want to see what a rhythm time quarterback looks like. You saw it last year. But you think that somebody like even a Justin Herbert with protection throwing around the yard like that? I've been telling you since day one, that guy's not that dude. And if you here, let me see how many attempts Hurts had last night. So Jalen Hurts had 40 attempts, 4 interceptions. Sounds right to me. That guy is not a high volume passer. How many times do we have to say that to you? Howard Eskin will join us at 3:30. Then Angelo Cataldi will join us at 4:30. Legendary Philadelphia Sports Talk, guys. Okay? Bench the limited quarterback to please the bandwagon fans and haters. As a 50-year Eagle fan, I'm not with a limited quarterback that wins football games. By the way, Ray, if they would have went with the limited quarterback last night, ran the ball, they'd probably win the ball game. They came like out of their, I don't know. So Nick got involved with the play calling. You saw it with the motions. I knew it when I saw the motions. I said, that's Nick. They threw the ball 40 times. And he was brutal. Brutal. Man, are you in a mud puddle now? Y'all better pray Hurts doesn't get injured and becomes untradeable that way. Oh, you're in a mud puddle. Let's see what the ultimate glazed donut has to say. Even with 4 interceptions, we should have won. A Jake Elliott field goal, an AJ drop away. Another ass kisser. Kirby, Signetti, Kiffin, Cristobal, all Saban coaches. Yes. I voted for today. If you go over to my X account, I voted for Signetti for the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year award. We have to put up with this dude until 27-28. Then we could throw him out of the NovaCare Center. Good riddance. Bumsky Hurts. This guy, Silz, kills me. He rants on how Jalen Hurts is such a bum. And when we agreed and asked for a change, wait a second. I'm telling you what the deal is, bro. You don't like it? Hold on. Get this. This is what he's saying here. And I'll explain it to him because he doesn't understand the business of football. This guy still kills me. He rants on how Jalen Hurts is such a bum. And then when we agreed and asked for a change, he calls us crazy. Yeah. You actually think you're going to take a guy out who makes $51 million. You gave a no trade clause in his entire contract where he can't go anywhere he wants. And you're going to put a quarterback in that has 45 reps in the NFL in a playoff stretch run. That's what you're going to do? Bro, I'll say it again. You made your bed. You went with him. You got to go with him. That's the NFL. You don't bench $50 million quarterbacks. You move off of them in the offseason. End of story. My take is, I've been telling you this for 5 years. Let me tell you something else. My wife would tell you this. If I was on WIP or 97.5, I wouldn't be talking right now because they would have pulled me off the air 3 years ago. Because I was saying that Hurts is limited. And the Eagles would have called and I would have been replaced. The cool thing about where I'm at now, here we are. We were right. Silz, while I agreed that benching Hurts is a long shot, the team did move on from Wentz. You moved on from Wentz in the offseason. You benched him. You did. He was $38 million. You had just given him the contract. Okay? You did bench him. You benched Hurts or Wentz. You put him in, but then remember what you did? You benched Jalen for Nate Sudfeld. But remember something else. Wentz didn't have a no trade in his contract. The Eagles had autonomy to moving him to wherever they saw fit. That's why he went to Indianapolis. You don't have that with this. Hurts' agent, Nicole Lynn, knew the Eagles would be in this position one day. If Hurts' skills ended up showing up, she put the no trade in. He's not going to have what happened to him that happened to Carson Wentz. He's not going to do that. And she put a failsafe in. She was smarter than Howie. Okay? She was smarter than, she outfoxed Howie. You're with this guy until 2028. Be quiet. How many people will Hurts get fired? Before 28? At least 5 more. No more trade clause contracts. Hey, you guys aren't wrong to want to see McKee. You're not. You're not. That's not how it works. You're not wrong. Silz, bench Hurts for a damn week against the Raiders. We're going to lose either way. You lose to the Raiders, then that's a different convo. Because then you're in trouble. Then you've lost your way. I don't think you've lost your way yet. Dude, we all said this. This Charger game was a mental game. And boy, you lost that too. How many people believe that you lost your mental edge last night? As far as I'm concerned, Herbert out-toughed you. How many people believe you lost your mental edge? You know what I mean by mental edge? You know what? I don't know. Some of you are young. You know when Mike Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas? Tyson used to have this aura about himself when he got in the ring. Everybody was afraid of him. There's the big, bad Mike Tyson. When Buster Douglas knocked his ass off, he was never the same. That aura about him was gone. I think the aura of Jalen Hurts and the Eagles is over. Over. I'm not even really going to read this any longer because he's been wrong and I've been proven right. You had an MVP quarterback in Troy Aikman last night fucking ruining that guy that he couldn't see and read defenses. Ruining him all night. It was embarrassing. A 6-year NFL quarterback was getting destroyed last night by Troy Aikman. He's wide open. He's wide open. He's wide open. Hurts doesn't see that first read. And if he doesn't get that guy open, he don't see the second guy. That's what Aikman went. That's not an NFL quarterback. This guy's one step up from Taysom Hill. Silz, do you think Shane would take Hurts in Indy? Yeah, I do. I think he'd thrive there. I do. I think he'd thrive there. Boy, I'll tell you something. By the way, Angelo Cataldi at 4:30. Let me tell you something, man. Last night was a train wreck. It was an ultimate train wreck. 40 attempts? That's not that guy. What were they trying to do? The running game was working. Barkley was at 6 yards a carry. 6 yards a carry. You had a team in the Chargers who had both offensive tackles out and a quarterback with a broken hand. And he willed that team to win. Man, I love Jim Harbaugh. By the way, your supers will be read after this. I can't wait to hear what Howard Eskin has to say about this. You know, you guys killed this guy about 2 months ago when he said something about the starting quarterback. And everybody was like, oh, my, that's Howard being Howard. I'll tell you what, that thing don't look stupid today when I open up the front page of the sports section and I see Jeff McClain with the Eagles have a quarterback problem. Let's get to Howard Eskin now. Legendary WIP man and our friend.
You got me choked up here.
Bro, I mean, I'm not going to pollute the question here for you, Howard. Just give me your takeaways on what you witnessed last night.
I'm not surprised. What did I witness? I witnessed what the Eagles situation is. You know, what took, and I'll say this, what took the media so long to recognize that Jalen Hurts was just okay. Not bad, not great or elite. He's not in the top 5. He's probably not in the top 10. But what took people so long? I don't read the newspaper anymore. So I know you get it online. I'm not going to pay for it online. But the Eagles have a quarterback problem. Well, really? Did that just happen? Did that just happen? Hey, I knew they would never change to Tanner McKee, but I'm telling you, fundamentally, he's just a better quarterback who can run the plays that they want to run. You know, you and other people, Dan, you kill the coaches, but they're limited in what the quarterback can run. So you can't, and this was Chip Kelly, and I like Chip Kelly and still stay in touch with him, although he doesn't have a job now. But he tried to put a square peg in a round hole. These coaches know that they can't put a square peg into a round hole and have to kind of play the way with what Jalen Hurts is capable of running. I saw something today that if he throws the ball within 2.5 seconds, which is really the right kind of time, he's okay. He's good. He's good. Outside of that, he was 5 for 20 last night. When he held the ball, and you think he's got all that time, that's what teams are doing. Hey, listen, we want you to pass the ball. By the way, I'm just going to knock you down here a little bit too, because that's what I do. You talked about Saquon Barkley, 6 yards a carry. One trick play, and I call that a trick play because it was the tush push that got him the 52-yard run. That's a trick play because everybody's expecting a tush push, and once he scrambles around the outside and runs around the edge, there's really nobody there. So he got 52 yards on that play. I know you can't take away plays if it's within the regular game plan of running the football. but that's not within the regular game plan of running the football.
But that's who he is, though, Howard. He's a big play guy.
But that's not. But that's not. I don't consider that one of his normal big. That's not one of his normal big plays. They can't run the ball anymore. Teams change the defense, and teams are starting to put up a 5-man front because they don't want him to run and they want Jalen to pass. Outside of that run, he averaged 3.6 yards a carry. I know you can't always do that when it's within the momentum of the game and the way you're playing the game. That was a trick play that got him a 52-yard play. That was a trick play, and it worked. And they did it one other time, but they did it from the 5-yard line. I think it was 3rd and 1 from the 5-yard line, and he ran around the edge. So that play's gone, because people are now going to be aware of that play when they go into their tush push.
So if you take that away, actually, Howard, you take that away, they ran for 110 yards only.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, that's not good. They finally had more yardage than the other team, but I think San Diego. I think the Chargers, still call them San Diego, like I call the Redskins, like I call Washington the Redskins. I still think the Chargers are at best an average team.
Yeah.
At best. They're not, like, you know what? They may not even be an average team. They're just okay, and they're winning some games, and they'll be in the playoffs. But they lost to, at best, an average team last night. At best. So I'm not, it comes down to the players. And it comes down, it's a quarterback game. And I know you've had Kurt Warner on, and I was lucky enough to have him on, I guess it was about a week ago. He broke it down. He says, if you can't throw 35 to 40 passes in a game when you have to, when you don't have a running game, you got some issues. And they have issues if he has to throw it that many times. That's why whenever I say, he's a Super Bowl MVP. Well, the quarterback's always the MVP of the winning team. I don't care if he's got 10 yards. He's always the MVP. So I don't buy into all that. They had a big lead. The defense got him a big lead. And then it just the second half was just kind of a waste of watching a football game, and even though it was a Super Bowl. But the reality is, I don't know that he was great in that Super Bowl. He was good.
The defense was great.
Yeah, the defense was great. Zach Bowen was just out of his mind.
Sweat
the defense was terrific. Yeah. So, it's who they are. They'll be in the playoffs. It wouldn't shock me. The first game will be at home because they're going to win the division. But it wouldn't shock me that they would lose the first. I don't even know who they're going to play. I think right now they play San Francisco. It's just, the whole thing's a mess. But that'll all be jumbled around. That'll change too. But whoever they play the first round, I don't think
they play San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't think it's a lock. Whoever they play, I don't think it's a lock.
Would you bench Hurts?
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Tell these people why you can't. I know you can.
It's just like, it's like taking a star, and he's considered their star, out of a lineup, regardless of what sport you play. Actually, if you play baseball or basketball or football, you can't take the star out of the line. You can't bench him. You can't, because then you just, like, what's going on? Do we really have a chance?
Howard, he's a $51 million a year guy. He's also got a no trade. You can't move off the guy from 28. It's not like you're going to sit here in the offseason and make some decision and go, hey, I'm going to send you to the Jets. You can't do that because Nicole Land and Clutch Sports put those fail safes in.
I know.
You can't do anything.
Yeah, but if he's not going to play, remember his father took him out of, he always says he's from Alabama. He actually left Alabama. Yeah. Well, no, not from Alabama. I mean, from the University of Alabama. Yeah. So he left because he and I think his father was pissed that he got benched. And the scouting report, you try to get better. The scouting report was he had trouble going through the progressions.
Correct.
But you don't have to throw that much. in college because quarterbacks now run a lot, and that's the kind of quarterback. And then you have to learn it in the pros. And Kurt Warner pointed it up. It's really hard to learn in the NFL because the players, even the bad teams, have good players.
Of course.
Yeah. So it's just, it's just, I don't know what they do, but I don't think at this point, I don't think you can bench them. I just don't think, you could, and then all hell would break loose. And who knows all the chatter and all the noise outside, but I just don't, they're not going to, and I don't think they are. And
how do you think they've done a good enough job coaching him?
I think I'm trying to think of the proper way to say this. You can't make chicken salad
out of chicken shit.
I didn't say that.
I did. He waited for me. You notice that? He set me up this time.
It's just, but he is what he is. What he is. You can coach him all. Don't you think?
I think.
I mean, these guys aren't idiots.
You're right.
Don't you think they go through all these things and all that nonsense of Nick Sirianni because he walked into the meetings. He's more involved with the offense. That was put out by the boy you love from the Eagles. That was, he feeds the beat writer who works for ESPN because he gets him this use things. So you always find the PR people usually find a guy. He found a guy and he feeds him stuff periodically. He found a guy.
He's got a guy.
He's got a guy. He's got a guy.
Like a mafia guy, like Nicky Scarpo. He's got a guy.
He's got a guy. And make a big deal out of it. Yeah, he's always they have a meeting every week with the head coach, the offense coordinator. Jeff Stoutland's in there. I don't know. There may be a couple other coaches in there. Hey, okay, this is what we think will work. What do you like? And they're not going to do anything that he doesn't like, or he doesn't feel comfortable with. I shouldn't say like doesn't feel, and that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, and it's not anything. Is he more involved? He's not calling the plays because they would catch him on the camera with his headsets on if he's starting to call plays. Because believe me, they were watching for that. The cameras they're on him probably 100% of the time. There's always one camera on him, and if they find something, they're going to use it. So
Howard, if that guy and that team, and I'm talking Nick, and I'm talking Hurts, what will be the collateral damage, in your opinion, if they end up, say they go 10-7 or 11-6, and they get bounced in the opening round of the wild card, and they get bounced like they did in Tampa, where the guy was on the yacht, he came back, and he was very distraught after he went yacht shopping and all this and that, and there was question marks on Nick Sirianni's job. Do you think any collateral damage will come out of that if that thing ends poorly?
Well, there's always going to be changes, but it's not going to be the head coach. He just signed a new contract. This year, he just signed a new contract. It's not going to be the head coach. And the owner knows what the issues are and where the issues are and where the challenge, I'll call them challenges, where the challenges are. The owner knows all that, and they talk to him all the time. But it's not going to be the head coach. Now, will there be other coaching changes? For his own good, I know you disagree with me, and your boy that's going to come up later in the show is going to disagree with me, Angelo, or as Charles Barkley calls him, Angela.
I'll bring that up.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Hey, Howard called you Angela.
No. I just put it. But I think Kevin Tullo is a sharp guy, handles himself well. He does a better job at his news conferences than Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni is muzzled, and he doesn't say anything. How about he lost his trend of thought in one of his news conferences last week because he tries to scramble to say nothing, and it's not his fault, but he allows himself to be put in that position. I think Nick Sirianni is a good coach. The players play hard for him, and that's really, really important. So it's not going to be him. But for the sake, we don't need all this drama. The people of Philadelphia, the fans, and the Eagles know that, and Kevin Petula knows that. I hope he'll get a job. He's already had people that wanted him come this year.
Do you think they move off him then?
I think he'll know it's time. Does he want to go through this again? Yeah, think about it from his standpoint. It might be his decision, and they'll help him find a job. First of all, I'm not saying he won't be here because he's not good enough.
With the eggs being thrown at his house and all this and all the backlash.
I know that's a disgrace. Those fans are they're worse than morons, idiots, and dopes. They're disgusting human beings. And the problem is you can't really give them more than a citation and a fine. Right. I'd like to put them in jail for life. But if they ever find out who they are, and the fact that the idiots videotaped it, what a bunch of morons. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But again, I think Kevin Petula is a very good coach. I think he handles himself well. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's trying to do, but you can't always do it because you're limited. There's only certain things you can run. And when the running game works, teams aren't stupid too. They're now defending against the run game and say, hey, listen, you're not going to run it. You want to pass it? Go ahead, knock yourself out. So that's part of it. But I think for those reasons, I don't know. Matter of fact, I'm sure nobody's made any decisions along those lines. But when you have a year that's not up to where you think it's going to be, there's going to be changes. And again, I know that there's other teams that would have liked to have Kevin Petula as a coach, a high-level coach. And for his family, I'm sure, knowing if they're going to do that to his house, he's got young kids going to school. They're getting brutalized in school.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah. Do you want to go through that again? So it's probably as much, whatever happens, it's as much his decision as anything. And I'd love to see him stay because he's a good coach, but I'd love to see a quarterback that can do the things that he wants to do and the head coach wants to do.
Let me ask you this then, moving forward here. And
people are going to kill me again. I mean, it's just, people are stupid. You can't teach stupid. You can't help stupid because they're stupid. And when people, they come after me and then, they bring up all kinds of things. I'm only telling you what I observe.
I agree.
What I see, what I'm told, and just go with that. It's not, I have nothing personally against Jalen Hurts. I mean, not at all. Obviously, everybody hopes he's successful.
Let me ask you this in the offseason then. Do you, knowing the owner like you do,
yep,
knowing Howie like you do you think, where are they right now and what they're watching with Jalen Hurts? What are they thinking right now? And going into the offseason, and they do have precedent moving off of a quarterback that makes $38 million. Now, there was a year left on that. We're talking big money here.
Who is this now?
This was Wentz when they ate that $32 million salary cap hit. They did eat that, but it was a year of dead cap money. This would be more of that. Where do you think the owner do you think they'll have a conversation, Howard, in the offseason on Jalen Hurts if that's the guy moving forward?
Oh, there's no question. There's no question they're going to have a conversation. There's no question. Now, what they can and can't do, people say, well, you got to trade him. Why would you trade the quarterback that won you or helped win the Super Bowl? He didn't win the Super Bowl. That helped win you the Super Bowl. Why would you trade that quarterback?
And get to two.
Unless there's something. Hey, other teams see what's going on. Even the bad teams. Do they want to go through all that drama? I don't think so. But there will be a discussion. I don't know what they're going to do, but there will be a discussion. There's no question. Now, unless he turns it around. Now, if they don't score at least 25 points next week against the Raiders, then they ought to cancel the rest of the season, because you got to be able to score against that team. They stink. It's just, and then after that, I'm not sure about the game after that against Washington. Daniels will play. It's might be Washington's last hurrah for a horrible season. They're playing in Washington, and then they play Buffalo after. I think they play Buffalo after that.
In Buffalo.
In Buffalo, right. And Buffalo's a good team, but not a team. I said at the beginning of the year, well, they'll lose to the Chargers. Then I had some questions because I didn't think the Chargers were all that good. And they'll lose to Buffalo. Buffalo's going to need the game too. So the Eagles they need it for seeding, but they don't need it for the division. They're not going to lose the division. They're going to win the division. So we'll see what happens. But unless Jalen Hurts turns it around, and Washington's defense is not good, the Raiders' defense is not good, Buffalo's defense really is not good.
Nope.
And then the last game is against Washington. It might mean something to the Eagles, but it's not going to mean anything to Washington, even though it's here. So I unless he really turns it around and they see that he can be better, but he's played how many years as a starter? What's it? 4 or 5? 5 years.
5 as a starter, 6 in the league.
Okay. If he should be better at this point. And some fans are still going to say, well, he's really a good quarterback. Well, no, he's not really a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback, strong enough. He's got some ability, but you got to. They're going to have to make some kind of decision.
Here, AJ Brown. A couple last questions here for you, Howard. AJ Brown, 3 huge drops last night. I mean, he did get some numbers last night, but
one of them was a little high, but that's all right. He still has to catch the ball.
Yeah, that's the hospital pass that everyone talks about there. What's your takeaway on what his accountability was last night?
He made himself accountable last night, which is a good thing. So you got to make yourself accountable. And he made himself accountable. Not every player is going to do that, but he did it. Give him credit for that. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things, but still, 4 interceptions are not all Jalen Hurts, but it's still 4 interceptions, and there's still interceptions. He's
5
still
turnovers, 2 total.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's just one of the fumbles. Really, I don't consider that a fumble, but in the scheme of the play, when he threw the interception, I guess that was considered a fumble, right? That was considered a fumble, but whatever the case, they turned the ball over too much. That's the way, when you look at their wins this year, they've won the turnover battle. In the wins they've had, they've won the turnover battle. In their losses, they're either tied or lost the turnover battle. It's unbelievable how important that is.
It's the key to their success.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, here's the final one for you here.
So I want you to kill Notre Dame too. Just because the haven of hypocrisy in South Bend.
My God, Howard. I mean, I am getting so much glee and joy watching these guys moaning and crying because they are not going in. Touchdown Jesus took a knee again for me. They're in South Bend, as I said years ago when we shellacked them. We beat them 24-0 and 58-7, and I'm so thankful that I was on those teams. But to watch these guys crying so much now, it brings a tear to my eye.
Well, because they think they're entitled to everything. First of all, here was the mistake. The mistake, they made the right decision by not choosing him. Hey, listen, you have to take Tulane. You have to take James Madison. That's part of their setup. But when they didn't rank Miami, and it was between Miami. Forget about Alabama. They played an extra game.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame won't go in a conference, so they don't have to play a conference championship. So I eliminate that game. But the mistake they made is not having Miami ranked ahead of Notre Dame because of the head-to-head. Notre Dame beat zero teams in the 12-game playoff. Zero. They play a high school schedule. It's a disgrace that they whine like little babies, the babies that they are. It is. Do you know what somebody told me, and I believe it's true? First of all, second of all, third of all, there's so many problems with the haven of hypocrisy at Notre Dame. The greed is, by not being a conference, you get all the TV money, you get all the bowl money,
NBC money.
Yeah, well, NBC would, because they have their own TV contract.
Yep.
You get all your bowl money. You don't have to share it with the conference.
Yep.
Okay, so they get all that. There's not much parking in South Bend. I've only been there. I know I've been there once. I don't know if I was there a second time. I was there for the Catholics versus Convicts game where they had to fight in the tunnel. I was down in the tunnel. I got my ass out of there real quick.
I just got to the NFL, and that was Jimmy's last time at Notre Dame when he went there.
And they got ripped off.
By the way, they got robbed in that game.
Yeah,
too.
It was a phony. The officials, in the pocket at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But there's very little parking there, so people park on the lawns, and the people charge them for it.
Yes.
I was told there's something in the city charter that those people have to pay a percentage of that parking money.
Yes.
To Notre Dame.
That's right.
I mean, what are you kidding me?
That's right. No. Here's a new one too. You ready for this? 2 days ago, they signed a new contract agreement with the committee that says this: moving forward, starting in 2026. Guess what? If they're ranked in the top 12, they have an automatic bid to the college football playoff. So now what Notre Dame's going to do is they're going to dummy the schedule down, and the media honks are going to put them in the top 12. So if they're ranked in the top 12, no matter what, Howard, and whoever they
but it's got to be the top 12 of the committee, not the top 12 of the polls that the writers vote on. Because
no. Top AP.
Oh, that's a disgrace. How did they agree to that?
Yes.
I've never rooted against Notre Dame so much.
Hey, do you like the hire at Penn State with Matt Campbell?
He was their sixth choice, but he's still a good coach. He was so far down.
I love.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach. Yeah, he's a good coach. So they got a good coach. I don't know that they have the NIL money to be able to get those kind of players. But he's better than James Franklin. He could close his eyes and be better than James Franklin. But no, he's a good coach. It's a shame that they kind of, danced around trying to get somebody else. He was a good coach.
Thought they were going to get Signetti, and Signetti goes, no, don't worry about it.
Why would Signetti go there?
He's not. Hey, no. Before you go, I got to ask you about
Terry Smith was the guy that the players wanted, but that's another story.
Thompson getting an extension and also Schwarber getting that contract.
They had to keep Schwarber. He is the leader in the locker room. There's nobody else.
I thought Cincinnati would have been a play for him.
I think they tried, but they don't have that kind of money.
No.
Well, that's his hometown, kind of his hometown. He lives outside his home's outside of Cincinnati, and Cincinnati would have been a better team, and he would hit a lot of home runs in that little Mickey Mouse
that ballpark.
That little Mickey Mouse ballpark. So, but the Phillies had to pay him, $150 million for 5 years, 6 years, 5 years. So they have another old player on the roster, and that's all right. Schwarber's a good guy. They needed him in the lineup. I think the mistake they're going to make is trading Alec Bohm. That's the mistake they're going to make. If there's a man on third, less than 2 outs, the player I want up on that team is Alec Bohm, because I know he's going to make contact. That's what I want. And they're going to trade him for whatever reason. They don't like him, and he's going to be a free agent. He's going to be ready for a free agent contract next year. I think that's a mistake. I heard a couple of places, either the Angels or Seattle, but they're not going to get a guy that's going to be able to replace what he means in the lineup. But maybe Bryce Harper doesn't like him hitting behind him because he wants somebody else. Because whatever Bryce wants, whatever Bryce wants.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you make of Thompson coming back?
I'm okay with it. I think he's a good manager.
Angelo hates that guy.
I know he does. He hates every coach. He just hates every coach. He would hate Vince Lombardi. He would hate Vince Lombardi. He would find something
I think the
wrong with.
biggest coach he said he
I
ever
was
hated,
at, by the way,
he hated Pat Morales.
I was at the only playoff loss in Vince Lombardi's career.
Oh my
I
God,
was
when he
there.
lost to the Eagles?
Yep, I was there. First pro game I ever went to. I was a little
God.
kid. It was a day after Christmas. My father got tickets. I still have my tickets. I don't know how I have them, but I have them.
That's phenomenal, Howard.
Yeah.
I mean, Lombardi obviously was a former assistant coach at the Giants, and my uncle knew him well, Robustelli, and he said that they made a comment in that locker room. I believe was that at Franklin Field?
Franklin
Right?
Field.
He goes like this. He said at Franklin Field inside that locker room, he goes, "We will never lose another playoff game ever again." And you know what? Lombardi never lost again. Another playoff game.
But anyway, I brought his name up because Angelo would rip him too. But I like Rob Thompson. And here's what you have to understand. Whatever manager comes in or would come in, and I'm okay with Rob Thompson because he's got the respect of the players, and he did. Who did he bench? I guess it was Castellanos he benched. Yeah. So, he's not afraid to do that. Even Charlie Manuel benched Jimmy Rollins one time, which is shocking. But there's certain guys you will and certain guys you won't. But whoever they bring in is still going to use with their 150, analytics guys. They build a separate building for these guys. The Phillies have a separate building for all the people they have, figuring out all the analytics. The manager's just going to follow the analytics anyway. So it doesn't matter who you get. That manager's still going to be locked in to those analytics numbers. And it's kind of a shame because baseball people should allow their instincts to do the things that they want to do.
Do you like
and Rob
Dombrowski?
Thompson's a baseball. Yeah, I do. He's not done enough. It's a different. He used to trade a lot of young players for the veteran players.
Yeah.
But now you can't really do that anymore because they don't.
He did a great job in Miami when he was down there with Larry Beinfest, and they were building that minor league system down there. And he really built the Marlins. And then when he went up to Detroit, he brought Miguel Cabrera with him. Obviously, then when he went to Boston, he did a great job there as well. I mean,
he's a good guy.
Theo Epstein, you know what? And what you're seeing now with Andrew Friedman, I think he's been pretty good as a general manager.
Yeah, a couple of signings kind of, Trey Turner's a good player.
Yeah.
But I don't think you pay $300 million for a guy that's average at best defensively. Bryce Harper was a nice signing at the time, but it was too long. I don't know what he's going to have left. He had a blood transfusion to try to help him, which I don't even understand why he had to make that public. But please, do you really have to
make excuses for sucking?
Well, that's not an excuse. That was supposed to help you. But I like Rob Thompson. So all right. So I like Sirianni. Angelo's going to rail on that.
Yeah, right. I know. I look.
Okay.
I've written it down.
I like Patullo.
You like
Angelo's going to rail on that.
Oh, he hates Sirianni.
I like Rob Thompson. Angelo's going to rail on that.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else? It's just
Hurts. Oh, he loves Hurts.
No.
Oh, he loves Hurts.
He's just saying that because, oh my God, he just can't.
Oh my God, I remember now. I know why IP was IP now. Now I know why IP, when you two guys were on that thing, now I know why IP. And like I asked Ray Didinger, I go, Ray, were you in the middle of all that? He goes, yeah. I go, wait a minute. You were in the middle show of these two guys? He goes, yeah. I go, holy cow. I go, what side you take? He goes, what are you kidding me? I stayed the hell out of it.
You know what? I can't. He really can't like Hurts. He really can't.
Does. He thinks Hurts. He thinks that they're screwing Hurts up.
I don't think there's any manager.
He calls Patullo Bobo.
Yeah, I know. I don't think there's any manager or head coach that's come through Philadelphia that he liked. Andy Reid's the best coach in football. Didn't like him.
Andy Reid.
I know. Okay. The Phillies, I
can't stand Sirianni. I think it's because Sirianni didn't want to come on the show. His final, like when he was there, and his final goodbye. I think it had something to do with that because I think.
Well, he was contractually he had to go on the show, so that's why.
Yeah, but I think the last one when
he doesn't have to, right?
Yeah, he didn't go on, and he said.
Well, so I gave you some
Oh,
fodder.
no, you gave me some good ones here. Now, wait, before you go here, I know you got to go.
And I'll have to have Angelo one at some point again. I've
You
had
got
him
him.
on.
You got him. That would be legendary. So, do you like Phillies management more than the Eagle management? Do you like the Sixer management at all? Of all
The
the
Sixers
way, and the
management is a
Flyers.
disgrace. They are the embarrassment, the worst run franchise in my lifetime.
Wow.
In my lifetime. They're the
Daryl
worst.
Morey's in that.
Daryl Morey. He just pays Embiid when he was hurt. Paul George, nobody else was going to give him more than 2 years, and the Clippers were the only team just to keep him. So they give him 4 years, 2 stiffs. It's just, what has he done? What has he done?
I don't know what he's done.
I mean, what has he done? So, and Josh Harris doesn't care about the basketball team. He cares about the football team.
Yeah.
So he just cares about making money. That's
the
about it.
The
Flyers are going to win. I'm excluding the Eagles because it's hard to figure out right now. But the Eagles management is very, very, very good. The Flyers will win, excluding the Eagles, the next championship in Philadelphia. Not anytime soon. Yeah. Philly's window, I think, is gone. The Sixers are, as I've always said, 3 to 4 years away from being 3 to 4 years away from being 3 to 4 years away. That's the Sixers.
Yeah. So do you think the window for the Super Bowl for the Eagles is gone?
No, because they'll figure out a way, because they still have some good players. And I don't know that there's anybody that really jumps out at you. Who in the NFC, Green Bay has a young quarterback.
Rams.
Okay. The Rams, but Matthew Stafford is, 30. Okay. So, and then Caleb Williams, if he continues to develop, Jordan Love might be good.
Get this. I saw him against the Eagles, and I got to tell you, I was like, this guy here, I'm out. But then I look up and I watch him in these other games. He's killing it this year.
I know. So again, but they're still in the mix, even though.
Do you buy Seattle?
Yeah, if Darnold plays well in the playoff games like he does in the regular season, yeah, Seattle's good. Yeah, I didn't think of it. Seattle could be interesting.
He's 23-6 in the last 2 years of him starting between Minnesota. I know you got to go, Howard.
That's all right. Yeah.
Okay, good. He's 23-6. Real quick, what'd you make of the defensive effort last night?
They played well. The thing that I don't, and they did it a few times. I can remember the Rams game when they had a lead. The Rams came down the field and should have won the game and got a field goal block, but they moved right down the field. Tampa needed a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and they had a big lead there. They moved down the field at the end. And then last night at the end of the game, that's when the defense really has to make a stop to not allow them to tie up the game. And they allowed them to tie up the game. Their field goal kicker is unbelievable.
But, oh, my God. The Cameron Dicker kid is great. By the way, he was here in Philly.
He was?
Yeah, remember he was when what's-his-name was injured. You guys had him in here. Was that 2 years ago? You had Cameron Dicker in here. And then you let that guy go because Elliott, I don't know, man.
Elliott's like kickers all at any point can just go south. It happens. And I'm not ready to say Jake Elliott's going south, but you can't miss, what was it, a 48-yard field goal that he missed? Yeah.
Kid Dicker was in here in 23. You had him here in 23, 22, somewhere.
Yeah, but you're not going to keep him over Jake Elliott.
No, I'm not saying that. But right now, I mean, Howard, that guy, you got to maybe think that this might be his last year there, because in a game that 3 points, as 3 points is the differential in games in the National Football League. You got to have that guy in Dallas. That Aubrey kid is a weapon.
Yeah. And you're talking about two kickers that play in a controlled
Yeah,
environment too.
playing inside. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get to your head, all that other stuff. So we'll see. But the Eagles,
Last
win next week. It's a bold prediction. I'm going to make a bold prediction. The Eagles are going to win next week.
Yeah, because they got Super Tonic.
I know what they have.
All the Raiders. Okay, final 4 games. What's the record?
I think they'll win 11 games. Oh, what's the record? So they have. Wait a minute. They'll win 11 games. So they'll lose one more time, either to Washington or Buffalo.
One more. Say so they'll go 4-1 down the stretch here, or 3-1 down the stretch.
Yeah, 3-1. 3-1.
So they'll
win 11 games.
11 wins.
Yeah, they'll win 11 games, which is kind of where I put them anyway.
Yeah,
but right, I'm telling you, when you think about it, they are 4-5 in their last 9 games. Is that unbelievable?
Outside of the Liars month that I call September all the time, they're 4-5. Man, I mean, and get this, you know that team last night you saw? The Chargers are now 6 of 8 in their last 6. They've won 6 of their last 8 ball games.
I don't know who they've played.
I know. Hey, listen, I'm with you. Howard, I got all my ammo right here.
Yeah.
I'm ready to rock. That'll be at 4:30 with Angelo Cataldi.
Say hello to Angelo for me.
Hey, my friend, what do you got coming up? I know
you know what? I'm waiting on somebody, but whatever it's going to be, it'll be good.
By the way,
I just want to pay a little money. These are my doggies, which I've lost. So I have memorialized on my hoodie.
That is phenomenal, man. We're animal people too, man. We really are. I mean, Howard, you know how many people told me about your interview with Kurt Warner? They were like, Kurt was breaking it down with Howard. It was a great must watch.
I'm going to tell you right afterwards, Dick Vermeil, and he and Dick are friends, sent me a text. He loved it. Then Dick Vermeil called me the next day and said it's the best discussion he's heard on quarterbacks ever. He called coaches in the NFL and told them to listen to it. Kurt not only is he a great guy, I feel bad that these morons in Philadelphia came after him, and he responded to some of them on social media.
Yeah, because I fueled it. Of course I fueled it when I had him on. I made sure that, it's all about the editor. You know that. It's not about anything. It's about the headlines. People read headlines, so we put some headlines up. Yeah, Kurt Warner, you hater, and I'm like, just listen.
Yeah, but I feel bad for him that he got a. But he's probably strong enough to be able to deal with all that stuff. And
when you're cut 8 times, Howard, you build the resiliency up a little bit. When you're cut like that,
good guy, really good guy, and a sharp guy, and knows what else. And treasurehouse.org is his foundation.
Oh, cool.
That people should support too. And I made sure that people knew about that.
So the podcast is this weekend, correct?
Wednesday at 7:30. I'm on tomorrow night as we speak right now, 7:30, and then Saturday mornings. So we'll deal with it. We'll see how many morons are still out there.
They miss you, man. They miss you on the airways in Philadelphia. You know what?
Well, radio's dead anyway.
I'm a big person on conviction. Whatever that conviction is, as long as you have one, man, I'm all good with that. And so I agree with you. I'm doing a small radio show in Tampa right now, and I don't know, Howard. It just doesn't seem the same when you and I were on the air back in the day. It just seems different.
Well, the problem is that radio is a dying industry. Kind of a shame. But that's just the way it is. It's a dying industry, and then talented people don't go there as much anymore, and that's part of the problem. Yeah.
You know what? I get people doing this now. Every time I ask somebody, I had Tim Brando on today, and I was talking to Tim.
Good, he's a good guy too. I've met him only a couple of times.
You should have him on. By the way, he's ranting on Notre Dame. You should have him on. I'll give you the number. He's wonderful.
And he remembers me
right now.
He introduced me to a bunch of people at Radio Row one time, and he made some really nice comments about what I have done and what I did. So yeah, he still works for CBS, right?
No, he's at Fox now.
Okay.
And he was there forever at CBS. Actually, what's crazy is that he was the first. I played in the very first ESPN telecast game between South Carolina and Miami. This was 1986. and he was there on the sidelines. I met Tim Brando then, and I was 20 years old when I met him, and he was a young guy at ESPN. Remember Beano Cook?
Yes.
Remember all those
Oh,
guys.
yeah,
Beano
sure.
Cook and all those guys were there. So we were the very first game that ESPN ever broadcast was the South Carolina-Miami game. And that's how I met Tim Brando. We've been friends ever since. I mean,
he's pretty much doing college basketball now, right?
he does college football and basketball.
Oh, he does football too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he did a lot of their broadcasts this year, and he's well plugged in. You should get. I'll tell you what. I had him on for like 25 minutes. 22 minutes, he filled the entire segment because he called it corrupt committee. He called Notre Dame corrupt. He called the whole thing that it's a corrupt system.
Well, it's all about money. There won't be an NCAA in 5 years because the power conferences will take it over anyway. So the NCAA will be done anyway.
Howard, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much, folks. 7:30 on Wednesday.
7:30 p.m. and then Saturday, 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Howard, thank you, my friend. We'll do it again. Thank you, sir.
All right. See you later. Have a good one.
Got it. That is my friend, Howard Eskin, legendary sports talker from WIP. Believe me, that city misses that guy. Hit the like button. Angelo Cataldi will be at the bottom. We'll take your comments here. Obviously, the conversation has now shifted. Listen what Howard said, too. And I'm on Howard's page with this. The quarterback has been limited for 5 years since I've been talking in Philly. We were like some of the only people going, hey, look, got to have a great team around the kid. And if you don't have a great team around the guy, guess what? The guy's not going to succeed. And to his point about Kevin Patullo, I just want to make this very clear. When he said that he's right about this. If you got a 100-page playbook, Kevin Patullo can only use 25 pages of it. He can't use that playbook because Hurts is not with the ability to be able to use that playbook. And some of you morons are like, without a doubt, I call you Jalenites. You don't see that. Okay? Mo says he was limited in college. That's why he got benched. Correct. That's right, Mo. But see the difference there? Nick Saban had a first-round pick in Tua behind him. They had a first-round quarterback, and if the Eagles had a first-round quarterback, they'd bench his ass too. Doesn't work like that in the NFL, though. Money, no trade clauses. You built the team around the guy, and it's December 9th. Silz, Jalen didn't draft himself. Jalen Hurts was drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles because he was a safety belt for Carson Wentz. He was never drafted in Philly to be the starting quarterback here. Remember that. Or do you want to try to change history? I love how people try to change the narrative of history. Jalen Hurts was never drafted to be the starter here. You had just paid Carson Wentz the most money of any quarterback in NFL history. Any quarterback in NFL history. You gave him the most money. And you're trying to tell me he was drafted to take the team over. That's a ridiculous comment. Okay? He was never drafted to Philly to be the number one guy. He was a seatbelt. The fans didn't choose the contract. No, the Eagles paid him. Are there any other takeaways other than Jalen having a horrific night? Well, you obviously didn't listen to the program. It's because I said your defense was spectacular. I think all levels, your defensive front, your linebackers, your secondary, I thought the entire unit was spectacular. I thought Vic Fangio was spectacular. I thought Dallas Goedert had a hell of a game. I thought Saquon Barkley had a hell of a game. I did. A.J. Brown did not. I don't give a shit what kind of numbers he had. Thank you. Appreciate that. So why is it such a big deal to bench a guy who was drafted for the bench anyway? Well, it's interesting. Once you pay the guy, all that shit goes away. You're not listening to me, guys. This is not high school football. The business of football plays into decision making. You paid him $50. No trade. You can't move off of him until 2028. So what are you going to do with him? Put him in and out of the lineup? Try to figure out if Tanner McKee? Really? On December 9th, with 4 games left in the NFL season. Petula was originally hired to be an OC either. Wasn't. No. And passed over twice. Why did they pick Jalen in the second when he was projected a third or fourth? I don't know. I thought the pick was stupid. It's not, though. Hey, by the way, just to be candid here, the Jalen Hurts era has been tremendously successful. Just like the Carson Wentz era was. That was successful too. He helped you win the NFC. He helps you get home field advantage. He was a runner-up MVP. He has a single season passing yardage number, and he's thrown for the most touchdowns in a single season. Carson Wentz, his run was good too. Just didn't last long and ended poorly. Simple as that. Silz, do you think Phillip Rivers signing with the Colts to give him a better chance to make the Hall of Fame? That's funny you should say that. Now that if he has signed and he's now a member of the Colts, he gets taken off the ballot. And he has to wait another 5 years if he signed that contract with the Colts. Remember that. So get this. Carson Wentz is a loser. Helped you win, I think it was, 11-2? That Super Bowl year, you won home field advantage because of him. He finished runner-up to a MVP award. He has the all-time single-season passing number. He's the only quarterback ever to throw for 4K with trash can wide receivers, and he threw for 33 touchdowns in 1 year, and he's a loser. Okay? That's how you see him. He signed to be on the practice squad. Wow. So Phillip Rivers is now on the practice squad, which now takes him off that ballot to be considered for the Hall of Fame. Shows you his love for the game. When Wentz got married and started, Dan, yes, now you understand. Now I understand? Understand what? Everything I've said about Jalen Hurts the last 5 years, I've not wavered. And all of you know that. So don't be surprised if the Rams draft a quarterback. They hold the number 9th pick. No way will they sign a quarterback. They'll get an experienced quarterback. That's what McVay will do. They're not. He's not going to go for a rookie. He's going to get an experienced quarterback. Hey, how about this, Kyle? Don't be shocked if the Rams send the number 9th pick and some other picks for Joe Burrow. Because I got a feeling that Stafford wins the Super Bowl, he's out. Remember something. Clayton Kershaw and him went to the same high school in Michigan, right? I think that if Stafford wins the Super Bowl, whether he wins it or not, I think this is his last year. I could see the Rams with the 9th pick, trading a future pick and the 9th pick and whatever the Bengals want. I could see them trying to get Joe Burrow out of there. Why would Joe Burrow want to stay in Cincinnati when they're never going to build a team around him? Jalen is limited, both by how he's been coached, yes, and skill set, yes. Yes, both are true. Where would he be if he had the same coach for 5 years in a row in a better place and good coaching, not Nick? He would be in a great place because they would get the best out of him. The same way that Kyle Shanahan got the best as long as he did out of Jimmy Garoppolo. Yes. Jimmy Garoppolo going somewhere else. He's a stiff, right? If he doesn't go to New England and he doesn't have Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick, then he goes to Kyle Shanahan and he wins at those both places. He goes to the Raiders, he's a stiff. He's a stiff. Silz, would I totally lose any faith in Hurts, or should I give the kid benefit of the doubt because Nick's his head coach? Look at here, man. I do believe one thing about Jalen. Jalen's not going to melt like Wentz did. He's not going to melt down. He's resilient. He's tough. He's tough mentally. This is not going to faze him. The problem is that your organization listens too many people in their voices. They hear the media chirping, the owner chirping. You know the problem is with Philadelphia Eagles? You guys should have 3 more Super Bowls, but you get in your own way. I mean, you're so good at what you do that you buy into it so much. You step on your Johnson. You know what's the one thing that New England does better than Philly? The owner gets out of the way. And he gets in the way when he sees fit. That's why Kraft's a superior owner to Jeffrey Lurie. That guy's got 11 AFC championships and 6 Super Bowls. And 10 appearances in them. Come on. Organizations fail quarterbacks. Yes, that's a fact. Silz, is it even possible to grade Kevin Petula with no run? No. And 25% of the playbook? Silz, who will win the NFC South? Carolina. Go back to playing boring, curious offense and give it to Smitty. Yes. Let AJ cry. Absolutely true. If you play your boring style of football, you win by 10 last night. Silz, earlier, Coach JB pointed out that he never sees Jalen reviewing the tablet on the sidelines after plays. Have you ever noticed that? Yes. He sits there and he's told what to do. He's never proactive. Yes. I do see that. His sideline behaviors, it's in question. Yeah, but, now you have the cameras and all that now for HBO's Hard Knocks. So, boy, I'll tell you, man, there is no doubt. Now, I can't wait to hear these 2 different opinions. We just had Howard Eskin on. So let me go down this. Hurts needs to be replaced. Sirianni's a great coach. And he says that he's not sure Angelo's ever liked a coach in the history of Angelo being on the air in Philadelphia. By the way, we're going to get to Rob Thompson. He likes Rob Thompson. And, of course, Angelo can't stand that guy either. He says there's not a coach ever in the history of the Philadelphia sports that Angelo's ever liked. So I do have to give some kudos here, though, man. The phrase Bobo Patullo was trademarked last week by Angelo Cataldi. And without further ado, the legend himself, my friend Angelo Cataldi, joins us now. I could not wait for this. And get this, he said it. If there's a catastrophe on Monday, I'm here Tuesday. Angelo, there was a catastrophe last night.
Yeah, there certainly was. First of all, let me correct Howard. I loved Doug Peterson the whole time he was here. I loved Pete McCannon, the manager of the Phillies. And here's why. Because those were the two people, 33 years that I was on the air in Philadelphia, who were managers or coaches and consistently told the truth. Had enough respect for the fans that didn't give you all this gobbledygook. We win as a team, we lose as all that crap that Sirianni is throwing out there. And I guess what this means is, I guess I just have a greater respect for the fans than Howard does. It's sad. Sorry that happened, but that's what it seems to be to me. That's the only answer I could give you. But yeah,
all right. What'd you make of last night, man?
Wow. Well, look, the play calling still sucked. Sirianni still acted like a jackass on the sideline. But Jalen Hurts, that was really awful. That was so uncharacteristic of him. The one thing that he's done this year, more than any other season, was protect the football. That was like his. In fact, we were under the impression that was the number one point of emphasis for him this year. Don't risk the football. 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions. He made history. Been 48 years since somebody turned the ball over twice on the same play.
Unbelievable. Never seen it. I remember those old NFL follies. That was
Right.
something like on the NFL follies there last night.
Right. So I tried to figure this out using pure logic. Yeah. And the only thing that changed, that I know for a fact changed, because they acknowledged it, is that Nick Sirianni got much more involved in the offense. So I'm going, well, did he go to, the one thing is there has not been a lot of, excitement to the offense. Did he go to Hurts and say, loosen it up a little, make that throw into the window. Do what we need. I don't know. I have no way of knowing that. And God knows neither of those guys are going to tell me. Hurts is not going to dime out his coach, and Sirianni would rather be waterboarded than ever tell the truth. So that's not going to happen. All right. So that may have been a factor, but none of it in any way excuses Hurts's worst performance in the NFL. That was his worst game in the NFL. And even the last throw, Dan, take a look at the interception at the end. He just threw it too late. He had a guy, Dotson was open briefly. Yeah. If he could have got it in there, and he waited too long. And he's been indecisive that way a lot this season. And he hit the wall. And I'm not fully blaming him, because he's really been working with some awful coaches this year, awful coaches. And I think it finally came to roost last night, especially with all those turnovers. That was just unbelievable. Wow.
I'm gonna take a line out of the Inquirer here, and I'm gonna ask you, do you think Philadelphia has a quarterback problem?
Not yet. They had one last night. No one could argue that. But the Eskin actually came on and said it's time for Tanner McKee. Did he say that?
Yeah. He says the best quarterback is Tanner McKee.
Did you follow it up by saying, Howard, are you at all worried about your credibility?
No, what I said to him was, that's impossible.
MVP.
Yeah, 12 months ago. You're not taking a guy out. That's not happening.
No, of course not. He's the man you currently employ in that position is the Super Bowl MVP. who had a brilliant season a year ago. Yeah, he's nowhere near that this year. He's also dealing with an offensive line that went from one of the best to weak offensive line. It's not good, all right? Anytime Brett Toth comes into the game, you are automatically at that moment in trouble because he stinks. And last night, Troy Aikman tried to tell you how good Steen is. I've been watching Steen all year. He's not good. I don't know what you're watching. He's not good, all right? And basically no Lane Johnson there. That's been a big factor. But bottom line is, if Hurts plays like that anymore this season, yeah, maybe they do have a problem because that was unacceptable. You can't win in the NFL with your quarterback turning the ball over 5 times.
But this, though, Angelo, how much do you think it's this? Okay, Sirianni's a passing coordinator. Kevin Patullo has no idea what he's doing. No. Isn't this the same stuff they did with Wentz with poor coaching after a while that, and I'm talking about the battle with Press Taylor and Howie and all this. I mean, and there's no doubt that Wentz's personality couldn't handle the different voices in his head because the guy was just not tough. I think Jalen's resilient, but don't you put some of the emphasis also on, look at the coaches he has with him. I have no respect for those guys. How can he have respect? And don't you think they're kind of like systematically derailing the kid's progression and growth as a player?
Yes, 100% they are. It is not a coincidence that last year Hurts was brilliant with a really good offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. This year, he's nowhere near that level, regardless of the offensive line and all the other factors, Barkley not running the same, all that other stuff. Patullo has brought him down 2 levels, maybe 3. No question about that. But he's got to overcome it because he has such a high level of he holds himself to such a high level, Dan, that I think part of the way he defines his own work is he has to overcome dumb coaches. Other guys do. Not every coach is working with the best quarterbacks. Know what the hell they're doing. There's a lot of really awful coaches out there that you don't find out about for years. And then you go, wow, that guy really didn't know crap. How did he last so long?
I just looked at your blog, angelocataldi.com. Make sure you guys check it out. Where have you gone, Jalen Hurts? Are you starting to wane on him too a little?
Well, in the thing I said, it's very simple. They can't win without him playing really well. I mean, the defense was really good again last night.
Yep,
the
really
defense
good.
Did not deserve to lose that football game. All right. But they got to put points up, and they're not doing it. And he has to figure out how to do that. He understands what his reality is now. He's got an offensive coordinator who has no clue. He's got a head coach who thinks he's a good offensive mind, but has never demonstrated that. Not to us. All right. He has demonstrated to us he can win a Super Bowl with brilliant talent and 2 good coordinators. That's what we've seen. But me, at the very end of that piece, Dan, I said that, it's gonna. This season is in Hurts's hands now, and I'm not entirely confident in how that's going to turn out. So that indicates that I moved a little bit away from my confidence in him because what happened last night was just awful. It was really bad.
How will the owner and the general manager in the you help me out on this and how they act? Are they overreactors? Are they going to react quickly? Is this something that they'll do in the offseason? Do you think right now with Howie and with what Jeffrey Lurie witnessed last night, really over the last 9 games, they're 4-5. If you think about it, they're 4-5 over the last 9. Liars month of September where they were 4-0. So if you look at the first month, which is kind of like the preseason of the NFL, they're underwater a little bit. Do you think that Jeffrey Lurie has shifted? The oddsman has shifted on Hurts.
That's the most important question. Those are the guys who control the decision, not on Hurts. this is probably wishful thinking, all right? But if I was the owner of the team and I was just watching the game last night, maybe they on the plane on a flight back, he put up the game to watch the actual broadcast started. And I saw how ill-prepared the football team was offensively. I saw how inept so many players were. I saw how Barkley was finally running the ball. He got 13 carries in the first half, and then they missed him. I watched the way they're at the 2-yard line early in the game with a chance to really take control of the game. And then somehow finagle their way back to have to take a field goal because they couldn't call any play. And then I'm watching the clown show on the sideline, right? Sirianni is freaking out when Mailata gets called for a hold on a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's good touchdown, and there's a flag hold. And they show the replay. And it was assault and battery. He had the guy with both hands. He was holding. I mean,
it was a legitimate call
of holding. And he's flipping out. And he's going, is he watching? What the hell is he? Why is he reacting that way? Then, and the only touchdown they scored, Dan, was an even more blatant hold by Mailata. And that was mugging. And it was clear that it was how they missed that. I mean, the refs last night sucked. They missed a blatant a face mask on Britton Covey. They just totally missed it. But here's the thing. Now you got Sirianni on the sideline. The guy almost blew the second touchdown with another awful hold. And you got him pressing his forehead against Mailata. So you're going, this is so absurd. I would be embarrassed to have that man in my employment. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, you know, I mean, Doug Peterson won a championship and got fired after 5 years. It would mean so much to me on such a deep level to see Sirianni get his inept ass kicked off the damn team. All right? Wow. Out. And I am not alone on that. You want to see. I was following a little of the social media stuff last night during the game. The fans can't stand that guy. They cannot stand Nick Sirianni. Nor should they. Nor should they. Between the clown show on the sideline and the stupid coaching and the ineptitude of the offense, which he supposedly is a master at. I mean, he's not having the best year either, Dan.
No.
Maybe, just maybe he'll do or say something stupid enough so we can get a coach in here who has a clue while Hurts is still in his prime. That's our best hope. Because right now, Hurts is hitting the wall.
He is, man. He's lost a little bit right now. A.J. Brown last night.
Wow. Oops, I think we have lost something. I have lost the signal. I'm trying to go back.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
There's a reason the Karate Master was the #1 salesman in the lumber department.
Karate.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
All right, folks. Big Silz back here again with Angelo. Angelo, A.J. Brown last night. Your opinion on his performance last night.
Wow.
Some critical drops in that game as well.
Oh, God, yes. Those are the plays that have made him an elite receiver. The first play, And those were, this is the thing, this perception can change so easily. Those were great throws by Jalen Hurts. If just Brown had made the 3 balls that he dropped, 2 of them long passes, if he'd have made those 3 plays, he would have had 200 passing yards. He would have had 200 receiving yards. Hurts would have had a far better game, and it would have been entirely different. I don't him. His body language is different this year.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's up and down. It's not consistent. There are times when he's swaggering around there, and then there's times when it looks like he's completely disconnected from what's going on. You know, again, you know what a big fan I am of that guy. He's their best receiver they've ever had, just in terms of pure talent. It's weird what a championship does to the psyche of some players. You know, Dan, and I think that's
and maybe too, Angelo, relationships too. I mean, the relationship looks different.
Yes, it does, and it doesn't. You don't look at it and go, "There's 2 guys that are completely together and on the same page." No, I don't think they are. I think that quietly, Hurts is even looking at the worst game of his career and going,
Yep.
"Well, that guy didn't help me. Man, I could have used one of those big catches. You know, 3 bad stops on plays those are the 50-50 plays that he makes. Those are the plays that have made him the great receiver he is, and he didn't make them like it. And they needed him to. So yeah, I'm concerned about. It's unlikely, based on what we're watching right now, Dan, that Hurts and Brown will be there together a year from now. Just because you look at it and you go, looks like there's something there there's some tension there. There's problems there that you didn't see before.
Michael
That's what
Irvin was on my program a couple weeks ago, Angelo, and he said this looks to me like it's more than just drops, and like it looks like there's something personal between these 2 guys.
Yeah.
That these guys aren't on the same page here. So I think you're right. Well, let me ask you this then. If this thing ends south like you think it's going to, and you've been right on, if this thing ends up south, is Sirianni, do you think that there's any way whatsoever that there'll be changes in the offseason? Or do you think Laurie doesn't want to be made to look like a fool because he's not going to go after the quarterback? The quarterback has a no-trade clause. He's not going anywhere until 28. You can't do anything with the guy. So what about Nick Sirianni? I mean, if this thing ends bad for the second time in 3 years, even though he's got that Super Bowl in there, how do you think this thing ends? If they have a one game knockout, they're out of the wild card round.
You're teasing me because I would love to see him go. You know that.
Yeah.
In all honesty, unlike Peterson, at this point, obviously they're going to fire Petulo. Petulo can't survive no matter what happens. Petulo is completely inept at the job. He can't do it. The very fact that Sirianni had to get more involved says it all. He didn't have to do that last year when he had a real coordinator. So Petulo's going. So what it will come down to then is, will Sirianni sit by and watch the big boys bring in the top coordinator like they did with Moore? And my guess is, yeah, that's exactly what will happen. Because, I'll say this now, Sirianni is hireable. You heard Troy Aikman did a testimonial to that jackass last night. I was going, again, Troy, you're not around him like we are. Believe me, he's a moron. I promise you, he is not really that great. He gives me the numbers, all this stuff. But so Sirianni will get hired again. There would be a bidding war for him. Then they would bring him in the new team. And within a week, they go, oh, geez, what the hell did we do with this guy? Oh, man, yeah, screwed now. But the fact is, he will capitulate. That is his process. So they will say to him, get rid of the Bobo. The Bobo's out. And we're going to bring in a guy again, like we did with Kellen Moore, and that will solve a lot of the problems. And you know what? It will solve a lot of the problems, except did they break Hurts now?
Yeah,
Is he
no,
broken?
I think they
Is he
have.
broken? He's clearly bruised. Is
He
he
is.
broken?
I know.
Is his coaching so bad?
Yeah.
It reached the point where it took an elite player and made him what he was last night, which was awful. So who knows?
It's a
What
great
happened last
question,
night is
Angelo.
crazy. Yeah,
It's a great question, man. Is Hurts
it is.
broken?
It is.
Did they break him?
Is he broken? And but here's another thing. You just pointed out the job security of Hurts, right? What if Hurts finally goes to those bosses and goes, I can't work with Sirianni. He's a moron. You watching him? You seeing him? Are you listening to him? Are you hearing what he's bringing here? If you're going to keep him, trade me. Ooh, now what?
Right.
Well, yeah, there are some scenarios now. There are some scenarios now
Oh,
with
no.
Sirianni.
No, Nicole Lynn and Clutch Sports and Jalen have a lot of leverage with that no trade. They have a lot of leverage with that.
Sure.
Angelo, 2 last questions here for you. Rob Thompson extended. Holy cow. You bring him back. Unbelievable.
Well, there's 1 year. They added a 1 year. Like they had a 1 year. So he's got 2 to go. They don't like in baseball for some reason, they don't like the manager to go into his lame duck season. All right. But the fact that it was 1 year tells you that that wasn't exactly a stirring vote of confidence either. All right. And all it ensures is that he will definitely be here in 2026, which also ensures that the Phillies will not win again next season. So he may get a free year with that extension. But now it just becomes how many years of this crap are they going to tolerate before they realize that Rob Thompson, much like Nick Sirianni, is highly overrated. Highly overrated.
Wait, Pat Corrales kind of place? Is that where those
Pat
guys
Corrales
are they in Pat Corralesville?
All I know is this. Pat Corrales will always be near and dear to me because the day I arrived in Philly from my hometown of Providence, Rhode Island, the very day, Dan, the Phillies fired Pat Corrales while they were in first place. And I came to Philly and I went, holy, wow. They fired the manager in first place. I'm home. This
Holy
is where
cow.
I belong. I love it here.
Angelo, one last one. Schwarber gets 5 years, big money.
Yeah.
Did they have to do that?
No, they shouldn't have done it because, yeah, he'll be great next year. 33, 34, 35, less so. By the back end of that thing, wow, $30 million a year for 37-year-old DH who already kind of gravitates towards being a little heavy. No, they will regret that deal on the back end big time. That's why no other team would go more than 4, and they went 5 because they love him. And I get it. He's the Jason Kelce of the Phillies. The city loves that man. But 5 years, 150 for a DH who is on the back end of 30? No, it's not a smart deal. It's not a smart deal.
Do you think they made a mistake on signing Harper?
Wow, you look back now and you wonder. No, I don't think they did. I think Harper's one of the top 5 free agent signings in Philadelphia sports history. The problem is they did not put the right people around him, starting with his manager and the analytics nerds that are up in the 18 guys up in that room up there telling a guy who's been a baseball lifer when to bunt. Yeah, no, just and Rob Thompson should tell all those nerds to go to hell. Yeah, get out. You don't know what you're doing. You couldn't even make the JV team, whatever. You're an idiot. You know, stop it. Get out.
All right, Angelo, if they lose to the Raiders,
yeah,
you're on again next week.
Oh, I watched the Raiders. The Raiders, all right.
Oh, no, if you need tonic to get better in life, you drink the Raiders. Thank God that's coming.
They are a dumpster fire.
Oh,
However, one area of concern. The Raiders have one distinct advantage in that matchup. Pete Carroll is a lot better coach than Nick Sirianni. So, you know, at this point, all bets are up. If Hurts plays like that, they can lose to anybody. Anybody. If you're giving the other team the ball, you could lose to anybody. I don't think it'll happen. It looks to me like, they should be able to win the 2 Washington games, and they should be able to win the Raiders game, and that'll definitely get them the division title. And then they will lose in the first round because they can't beat a good team. They proved it again last night.
They'll lose to Buffalo, too, in Buffalo, right?
They will lose to Buffalo. Unless Buffalo doesn't need it, but they'll need it. So, they'll lose to Buffalo. They won't know what to do with Josh Allen.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Angelo, everybody in Philadelphia right now, headlines are everywhere, like bench the quarterback, the coach is this, that. Holy cow. 12 months ago, you were the Super Bowl champions, and everything's gone to hell in 12 months. That shows you how crazy the league is, doesn't it?
Well, it shows you that 5-win prediction I made a year ago was an anomaly, because I'm pretty close with my 10 right now. My 10 is looking pretty good. And even when they were 8-2, I told you they were going to end up 10-7. Yeah. So I'm on track here. I'm starting to smell I could feel it again. You know what I'm saying? I just had that one bad year, but I have a feeling this is going to be an ugly ending and then real crisis, chaos time. Because that roster, even with the injuries and the offensive line, that roster should be able to roll over most of these teams. That roster is right there with the best.
I agree with you. Absolutely, Angelo. Thank you, my friend.
See you, Daddy. Take care.
About it. That is my friend Angelo Cataldi. Oh. All we do is get the legendary Philly guys on, because they don't want those guys' voices on any longer. They don't want my voice on. That's why I put them on. I put those 2 guys on. And by the way, difference of opinions. Okay? And I love that. Whew. Man, have they broken Hurts? What a question. Have they broken Jalen Hurts? Have the Philadelphia Eagles and their management and their coaching of Jalen Hurts, have they broken him? I don't think they have. Okay? I don't think they have. I think the guy's too strong for that. I think the guy's got a better will. I think the guy's a better leader than that. I do. And I think I don't know if he'll overcome it. I don't know that. He was already broken. No, it's not that he was already broken. He was limited. Get it right. He was limited. Dan, Angelo needs to get that Hurts. Angelo needs to get that Hurts as part of the problem. He cannot read a defense. I think, wait a second here. Look, when you go to his blog, the headline is this: where have you gone, Jalen Hurts? You heard him what he said. He's wavering a little bit. Okay? Forget the 5 turnovers. We still lose with that QB1 play. Okay? Why'd you get away from the run game? They never gave Carson this type of talent. Absolutely not even close. My old PS3 was broken. It was limited too. Thank you. All good, James. Big Silz, in regards to the Phillies giving Thompson 2 years, they're looking to bring in Mattingly as the bench coach advisor to cover their ass. I love that. I love Don Mattingly. Silz AJ dropping that pass reminds me of Pete Carroll calling out Russell Wilson. Well, you guys keep telling me to let Russell cook, and look what happens when I did. Hey, he did. Without a run game or RPO, passing attack. This quarterback is bottom of the barrel. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Mike Quick kept saying last night that the middle is wide open repeatedly. I thought they threw the ball a little bit more to the middle of the field last night. Dallas Goedert got involved. He still was over on the numbers a lot, but I thought they threw a little bit more towards the middle of the field last night, actually. Angelo doesn't have an opinion. He has an agenda. Yeah, what might that be? At least Silz has common sense and his opinions are based on facts. All right. All right. I appreciate that. Again, I don't talk about, like, I'll let you know when I have an opinion on something. This is an opinion. Like when you watch something last night and you see a guy, and now all of a sudden you're hearing everybody say the quarterback is limited. Well, shit, man. Can't read defenses. He's not a progression reader. These are all the – by the way, where do you think I got that from? Let me see if I can pull that up. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see if it's changed. Scouting report on QB Jalen Hurts. On QB Jalen Hurts for the NFL draft. Let's see how much has changed. Okay? Jalen Hurts. Let's go here. Okay? Here. This is the scouting report. And I went back into my emails. And this is the scouting report that Jalen Hurts had on him coming out of Alabama. And I'm going to read this, and you tell me what you think. Pre-draft, Jalen Hurts, known for taking hits and staying in the game. Winner, proven track record leading teams Alabama and Oklahoma to major wins. Leadership, strong character, work ethic, earning academic honors. Rushing ability, excellent runner, natural dual threat. Production, showed significant improvement as a passer under Lincoln Riley. Weakness, pocket passing, limited vision, slow to work through progressions, often a one-read quarterback. That's still today. Accuracy and decision-making, inconsistent accuracy, struggled with reading complex defenses. Still today. Arm strength, considered average for NFL standards. System dependent. Concerns about his ability to evaluate, system dependent. Concerns about his ability to evade an offense beyond talent around him. What? Concerns about his ability to elevate an offense beyond the talent around him. Which means exactly what we've been saying. If Hurts doesn't have a great football team around him, he's not good. All of the things that were pre-draft are still in place. Listen to it again. This is the pre-draft Jalen Hurts 2020. Jalen Hurts was seen as a dual threat winner with great leadership, but limited as a pocket passer. Here's strengths, durability, and toughness. Known for taking hits and staying in the game, which is true. Proven winner at Oklahoma and Alabama. Facts. Leadership and personality. Strong character, work ethic. Smart guy. I think he is too. Running ability. Excellent runner as a dual threat guy. Weakness. Limited vision, slow to work through progressions. Often a one-read quarterback. Aikman was saying that shit all night last night. Accuracy and decision-making. Inconsistent accuracy and struggles to read complex defenses. Still in place today. System dependent. Concerns about his ability to elevate an offense beyond the talent around him. All of the same pre-draft stuff is the same stuff that we're seeing today. 0 rings mean nothing. 0. Bro, you don't have to be an exceptional quarterback to win a Super Bowl ring. You don't have to be exceptional to win a Super Bowl ring. Trent Dilfer's got one. Brad Johnson's got one. You don't have to be exceptional. Means nothing when we're talking talent. Reading defenses, being an NFL quarterback, it has nothing to do with that. You're jaded by that game. And that's the only thing you have, because other than that, he stinks compared to those guys. Hurts went there. Get this, folks. Jim Plunkett went there twice and won 2 Super Bowls and an MVP. Would you consider him a star player? Bro doesn't have half the team. Joe Burrow on the Eagles, that guy never loses a game. You think Joe Burrow has trouble reading defenses? Guy's on a shit team and a shit organization and went to the Super Bowl with the fucking Bengals. Reyes, I agree with you. Going there matters. That's why Hurts is decent. I agree with that. I think Hurts is decent. I do. I think he's decent. Great. Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer, Joe Flacco, Eli won the Super Bowl, win chips, not quarterbacks by themselves. Yeah, Reyes would tell you because Hurts won a Super Bowl, he's better than Allen, Lamar, Burrow, all them guys. That's a fucking joke. Nobody, 10 months after they win the Super Bowl, people are calling to be benched. Headlines in the Philadelphia Inquirer, bench Hurts. Really? But he's talking about benching Burrow, benching Allen. But he talks like that. Only in Philly, bench Hurts. They see it. Unlike Herbert and Hurts, Burrow doesn't need to wear a wristband with plays on respectfully. Hey, I'll tell you something about Justin Herbert. You talk about a guy who went out there and wanted to win a ball game. I saw a guy that did everything possible to win a ball game last night. How about this? He put his entire body on the line last night. That's called being a man. Hey. Holy shit. Here, let me do something here for you. Before we big Z in here. Ready? Watch this. Congratulations, everyone. Over here. Wait. Over here. Welcome to the world of Big Silz that we've been telling you here on JAKIB. By the way, JAKIB's got to be pretty happy because when Big Silz came here 5 years ago and we told you that your quarterback was a limited, and we said that the guy was limited, you guys didn't believe me. Welcome aboard. All right. God knows what kind of sleep this guy got last night, but he don't need sleep. This guy chews Philadelphia Eagle content. He was battling last night, and boy, I'll tell you what. You know what he was barking at last night, the Big Silz? Well, and he was trying to be a politician with me, but I know all the stupid shitty games. So he was doing this. Silz, I know it's probably not a kind of like, oh, God, okay, I know the game too, kid. What is it? You got to think about benching the guy. And I'm going like, yeah, benching the guy. It should be. No trade. 50 big ones. And His Highness ain't going anywhere. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my friend, the hardest working man in Philadelphia, he is Big Z, Xander Kraus.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Okay, 24 hours after.
Not good. Not good. I think the Eagles have a quarterback problem right now. I mean, it's
Oh,
five
wow.
straight weeks.
Philly has a quarterback problem.
Oh, 5 straight weeks of bad poor play, and you just read the scouting report, a lot of the same issues there. So I think it's fair to say there's a quarterback problem right now. They are just not a good football team. They're not. They're really not a good
I think
team.
they are defensively.
I would agree with that. I think they're a good defensive team.
It's
But
the
the
only thing
offense
keeping
is-
you afloat.
The offense is so much less than
Oh,
average that it doesn't matter how good the defense plays. It just doesn't feel like that they have any chance to succeed.
it overtakes it, right?
If you look at the last 5 weeks of Eagles football, offensively, I mean, it's been absolutely terrible, Silz. We went 40 minutes in the Cowboy game where we didn't score a point. You put up 10 points on the Packers and 16 points on the Lions. You put up, I don't know, what'd they put up last week in the loss?
15.
15 to the Bears and 19 to the Chargers. I mean, this team offensive outputs are awful. I mean, Jalen Hurts, look, people have bad games. I think Jalen had an uncharacteristic, really bad game. I mean, Jalen has his problems. He's not a 4 interception type of quarterback. He doesn't move the ball like that. I felt like he was seeing ghosts last night. He was throwing the ball right in the defender's hands. I mean, the one pick to Devontae Smith, he stares him down and the corner jumps the route easily. I mean, you had the pick obviously with the defensive lineman dropping into coverage, which is a nice defensive play, bad read by Hurts. Really just a bad performance. I mean, I rewatched the game today in between the shows, and I'm like, boy, even outside of the turnovers, Jalen was just off last night.
Yeah.
Now, he had some good throws too. That 3rd and 16 throw was phenomenal in overtime, and that end of regulation throw to A.J. Brown, which was a brutal drop by A.J. Brown, was a great throw as well. But, I think the Eagles have a quarterback problem right now. I think they have a quarterback problem. I also think they have a coaching problem in terms of Nick Sirianni not being able to correct big macro issues. I don't know if I necessarily believe Kevin Petula is as big of a problem as many believe. I just think this is the Sirianni offense, and it's not very good, or it's built for Jalen Hurts. So you got a quarterback problem. You got a head coach problem who I don't think knows how to manage,
He's not a problem
situations. Yeah, right. I mean, he knows he's fine when it's all good, but when it goes bad, look, it's uncharacteristic for a team. It's not uncharacteristic for a team to not live up to expectations. What is uncharacteristic is a collapse and winning to a certain level and then losing to a certain level. And if this season continues the way it is right now, it's going to look a lot like 23. And that would be 2 pretty insane collapses. And I think that would be both on Jalen and Nick Sirianni. I mean, you're a quarterback, you got to stop that bleeding, So, a lot of takeaways from the game, but confidence dwindling by the week on this Eagles team.
Have they broken him?
I think it's a fair question at this point, but, I think Jalen's problems preceded, some of this in Philly. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're looking at, an example I would use is like a Markelle Fultz. I know it's basketball, but, he could shoot the ball in college. He could get to the rim. He could do everything. And then he just like that was a broken player. I don't think that's the case with Jalen. I don't view it like that at all. I think he had his problems, and I think the Eagles did a really good job of building around him the last.
You mean hiding him?
Well, I mean, if you're going the big Silz way, that would be the word to use is hiding them. But look, a lot of quarterbacks need a lot around them. Jalen needs
a lot of coaches
more.
hide deficiencies of other players. That's not really a risk.
This is my number one. This is my number one thing that bothers me about Jalen is quarterbacks are meant to be quarterbacks. They're not meant to run the ball first. And I'm not saying Jalen's a running back, but he doesn't do basic quarterbacking things well. He doesn't consistently get the ball to playmakers. He doesn't consistently, throw the ball in the tight windows. He doesn't consistently dissect defenses with his eyes and get the ball to the open man. He doesn't consistently do it. And he relies, even if you watched last night, that first play, A.J. Brown should have caught the ball 100%. That was an off-schedule play. Yeah. Jalen drops back, doesn't make a throw, scoots out of the pocket, waits another couple seconds. A.J. Brown in a second effort goes deep, and Jalen throws it up. I mean, it's all off schedule. So it's very hard to build an offense around. And you got to understand, everybody, how hard that is for Kevin Petula. I mean, the plan is not for every play to break down.
Remember Coach Brown saying he does more work off schedule than he does
it's all off
inside the
schedule.
pocket.
It's almost all off schedule. So yeah, I mean it's tough, but I don't know, man. This team is in a weird spot right now.
Okay, I want to ask you about, this has to be brought up too. The accountability of AJ. I don't think AJ played a very good game at all. And you know why? Even with his 100 yards, I don't care about those yards. I care about the 3 critical plays in the game that would have won the game for you. You failed on them. I'm not looking at your yards and your catches and your targets and going, hey, you got your – fuck that guy. You're brought in there to win ball games. You're not brought in there to win stat sheet numbers. I thought he played terrible. Now, Michael Irvin a couple weeks ago said something on here, Xander, and I think we got to address that again. This looks bigger than just drops. This looks like a relationship problem. This is deeper. Like one doesn't trust the other. The other doesn't now start. Look, I thought Jalen put him on notice last night saying, I trust you to make these catches, and you didn't.
Agreed.
I think Jalen put that in his hands, and AJ fumbled the ball. You can't be mad at Hurts for that.
Well, I think what's happening to AJ is he's clearly disengaged with what they're doing on offense.
Checked out?
I think he's checked out to a certain extent. I think the 2 years of playing in this style of offense has gotten him. And now you're starting to see that bleed over into the football field by maybe less preparation during the week, maybe, less desire to go in and work every day. I don't know. I don't know how much A.J. Brown's working. I'm just going off of what I see on the field. He doesn't look like the same player. His hands, he's always had great hands. He hasn't had a drop in the game like that since 2023.
Right.
He had 3 of them last night.
He had none last year, folks.
There is one play that I ripped him for this morning, and I still think he should have caught it, to be clear. But Emmanuel Acho broke down that hospital ball, and you watch what happened to Zach Ertz the day prior. I get it. AJ should have made the play, but you have to understand what a receiver's thinking there. You get your hand straight up in the air, and you're exposed to a linebacker and a safety right in between. I mean,
they're called alligator arms.
Yeah,
you start doing
right. It's like the check. You ever been out to dinner with somebody?
Yeah.
And the check comes?
That's Big Silz. That's Big Silz at the
check comes in there. That's M. Rice. The check comes in their alligator arms.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I got
instead of reaching in there like a praying mantis, you're here like this. You got the hands here like a
But no, back to the point. I don't know that was as much on AJ. The drop in the end zone and the end of regulation was brutal. And some of the lack of effort. I mean, there's another problem here too. 3rd and 9. All right. First quarter of the game, first or second quarter of the game. They throw this screen pass out to Devontae Smith. Why do you have your $32 million wide receiver in a key 3rd down situation? Why is his number one job to block?
Yeah.
I get it. Everybody's mad he wasn't good at blocking. What are we doing? Why do we have A.J. Brown should be getting open, past the sticks, looking for the ball, not blocking on a screen route? I mean, it's not Johnny Wilson out there. So I have a problem with that. But I do want to rip A.J. Brown. You got to rip A.J. Brown. All right, you come in and you make it stink. All right, you made it stink last year, remember, by reading a book on the sideline, which was clearly intentional. All right, you made a whole big deal about that. The Eagles go on to win the Super Bowl. All right, you make it stink in the beginning of this year when you're winning football games. Offense not going to hold up. Again, I think the message was correct. But now you're 4 or 5 weeks later. Maybe perhaps what you were warning people about is coming to fruition.
Yeah.
And you're one of the players that Jalen Hurts puts the ball in your hands to say, all right, pressure moment, going to my big player. Let's not put this all in the defense. Let's not sputter out. And you're not making plays. You're not doing everything you can to overcome it. If you're going to whine and bitch and moan and create drama and create bullshit, which, again, I didn't have a problem with at the time because I thought he was right, and then your number gets called and you don't make the plays, dude, sit down and shut the fuck up. Jalen Hurts didn't make plays last night. You know who else didn't make plays? A.J. Brown.
That's right.
And I also find it disingenuous that he backed Jalen Hurts so hard in the postgame. I appreciate him doing it, but you do it now after 3 drops, right? You do it now after your 3rd straight game of 100 yards. Is that when you choose to back Jalen Hurts? You didn't want to back him 4 or 5 weeks ago, all right, when you were bitching about the offense. Now you get an opportunity to win a game. You know you fucked up, and now you're vouching for your quarterback.
Hide behind him.
Disingenuous. That's disingenuous. I don't like that. I'd rather you just stick with him in the beginning and stick with him in the end. Or don't stick with them in the beginning and then don't cop them out at the end. Now, when you make a bad play. So I didn't appreciate that. And
You played
I
sports.
think though the bigger thing with
You
AJ
played sports. You could tell you're hockey. That's right. You could.
Well, I think
because guess what? Listen, what when someone asked me, and this is a smaller scale of this, when Testaverde won the Heisman Trophy and won all those football games, and then when he threw 7 picks in a game, I'm like this. Fuck that. We won with the guy. We're not here without the guy. And you know what? I'm never going to rip the guy. Publicly, I wanted to rip the guy, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be in with the guy because you're either in or you're not in. You can't be in when you choose to be in.
I agree. And that's part of being a leader.
That's not being genuine.
Being a leader is good to say we got problems on offense. I view that as a form of leadership. Where when your number gets called, though, when it's crunch time and you fail to live up to it, now you've set a bad example as a leader of the team. I bitched and moaned. The ball came to me to make a play, and I wasn't prepared. I didn't do what I needed to do individually to make those plays for my teammates. To me, that's a bad form of leadership right there.
Let me ask you this too: was I imagining this? I saw motion, and I knew immediately Nick was involved, and I'm going like this. Okay, so they're doing things in here. They're throwing the ball 40 times. Dude, so Angelo pointed something out. I went and looked at it again. He ran the ball 13 times in the first half, and then you came back and only gave him the ball 7 times in the second half?
Yeah, I didn't really get that either.
I mean, the guy was 6'1" to carry. And by the way, I disagree with John on this because isn't this Barkley's MO in a game? 4 yards, -2, 3 yards, 5 yards, 19 yards, 2 yards, no yards, 52. That's who that guy is. That's that guy's MO. You can't just go, well, they really only rushed if you take the 50. Fuck that. That's part of what that guy's DNA is. That's how he wins. You can't do that to Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders used to go like this, Xander, -1, -3, 75. You can't do that. That's part of how that guy plays the game.
It's interesting, Sills, because this really wasn't a game where they even needed to do that.
No,
right? I mean, your defense held the Chargers.
They could have stuck with that mentality and won the game by 10.
They held the Chargers under 20 in regulation. They ran the ball at 6 yards a carry for Saquon Barkley. Like, they did everything they needed to do. They didn't need to throw the ball 40 times in that game. They didn't need 38 points. They needed 20 to win. So the turnovers are obviously the difference in the game. I mean, let's be real. That's what lost them the game is Jalen Hurts' poor play. But, it was just a little weird because it's like you finally get a game where Saquon's running. And I had some guy reach out. He's like, Saquon didn't actually run good. If you take out the 60-yarder or whatever, the average was 3.7. I'm like, all right, dude, take out every 20-plus yard. Take out every 20-plus yard run last year for Saquon Barkley. What was his average? Like, that's part of our running.
Over 25 yards last year.
That's what I mean, though. So if you take out the splash plays are part of why Saquon had great numbers last year. So you can't take that out. And I don't understand. I mean, they ran the ball 20 times, played good defense, created. How many turnovers did they have on defense?
3.
Takeaways. 3 takeaways? I know they had the pick.
Yeah, they had 3 takeaways.
They had the fumble. They had the pick. What was the other one? The third one was when they lost it. Oh, no, they got it still. Did that count as 2 takeaways? That one play?
They had 3 takeaways. Chargers had 3 turnovers. Eagles had 5. Fumbles lost. Chargers had 2. Eagles had 1.
So the Eagles had 3 takeaways, but one of them was bullshit because it was when they took it back on the Hurts pick, but then they ended up losing it. They probably gave Hurts a takeaway for that.
I never seen in my entire life anything like that.
But they had the Byron Young fumble recovery, and then they had the Adoree Jackson interception. So the defense really had a good night. I mean, the defense did everything. Yeah. Justin Herbert, to me, looked uncomfortable. He looked out of rhythm. He was not a good thrower of the football last night. How about that one throw, though, on 3rd and 2, rolling to his left? Holy shit.
Let me tell you what, though, man.
That was a hell of a throw.
I gained more respect for that guy last night, playing with one hand, broken.
Yeah.
His offensive line couldn't help him whatsoever. What's he do? He gets on his wheels and goes 10 carries for 66 yards. Get this. If you told me prior to that game that a quarterback was going to win that game with his wheels, Justin Herbert would have been the furthest guy from my conversation with that. that guy has an image now of his coach. They're just a fucking tough dude, man.
Yeah, he is.
That was so good.
Yeah, does that bring back the conversation? I mean, I just kind of ripped AJ Brown for it, where you're lacking effort in areas, or at least it seems that way. And now you have Jalen Hurts, and he won't run the ball. Did anybody watch him run the ball? I mean, come on. I know people don't want to admit this. We all watch the game with our own two eyes. We all see it, right? He sees defenders coming, and he's like a shaken leaf. He falls right to the ground. He doesn't want any form of contact. I mean, there was a run last night where he snuck out on
4
first
carries,
and second
8
down,
yards.
and Derwin James is chasing him down. There's a gap there. He would have gotten 22. Hurts would have gotten 8 more yards, but he sees a little bit, boom, and he lays down backwards. Like, Hurts is spooked right now. Hurts is not doing everything he can to pick up yards on the ground. And all you get, Justin Herbert might throw the ball better than Jalen Hurts. He doesn't run better than Jalen Hurts. I know he's athletic, but so I don't know what's going on there with Hurts either. Where are you giving everything, And you're kind of seeing this permeated across the entire offense. Jalen Hurts is maybe not giving everything, and AJ Brown's not giving everything. I don't know. This offense feels real broken to me.
Yeah,
by the way, I will say this: they did a couple things well. They ran the ball better yesterday. Better blocking, better running from Saquon. They had a couple play action plays that were good.
I thought pass pro was decent.
Pass pro was great. Couple throws over the middle that Hurts had, that 3rd and 16 in overtime. I mean, that was a beautiful throw by Jalen Hurts. That really was. They had a couple seam throws, for Jalen last night. So a couple things well, offensively, maybe they can build on it. But boy, they keep talking about these fixes and the game plans and this and that and the bunnies and all this bullshit. And it literally gets worse every week. I don't know. I mean, I'm done believing that anything they say, and I'm just watching what they're doing, and the offense is pretty bad. So I don't know what this team's fate is this year. Feels like an early exit.
Do you think that there's going to be an off-season conversation about the future of Jalen Hurts?
Well, it depends how the season ends here. I mean, if he doesn't, turn it up a little bit here. I mean, if he continues, it depends. Do you get the first 8-game Jalen Hurts, or do you get the last 5-game Jalen Hurts? All right, both of them have their problems, but the first 8 games is a guy you can win with, who doesn't turn the football over, who makes the plays downfield when he needs to make the plays downfield, who runs the ball when you need to take the opportunity to run the ball. Jalen's a different player there. Now you get no running yards. You're turning the ball. He's got 4 touchdowns and 6 picks, or 5 picks in the last whatever, or 6 turn, whatever it is. It's like he's got less touchdowns than turnovers in the last 4 games. So what Jalen you get if you're getting this last 5-game Jalen? Oh yeah, that conversation's coming.
How much do you think the coaching has played a role in his regression since 22?
People aren't going to like my answer here. I don't think too much. I think maybe a perfect coach,
because the same scouting report really reflects.
I think a perfect coach would have gotten some out of him, but this is kind of Jalen's style. Could a coach do better with it? Absolutely. But I don't necessarily know that the development that people are thinking what it would look like in their head would ever come. I saw somebody today, and I'm not even trying to rip them, but I saw it today on Twitter. They're like, bring Brian Dable in for Jalen Hurts. I'm like, all right. Brian Dable is maybe the biggest reason, next to Nick Saban, that Jalen Hurts was benched in the national championship game. Because Brian Dable told Nick Saban every freaking week, we're running the ball and playing good defense, and we're not moving the ball downfield through the air. That's not our game. So when they played Georgia, a much better opponent than Natty, and they took away the run game, and Hurts had 12 yards and a half of football, Brian Dable's like, hey, we got a passer on the bench. I don't think Brian Dable is the fit for Jalen Hurts.
No.
All right. I don't think he's the fit for Jalen Hurts. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know. I mean, what does that look like? Like you said, how much is the coaching? What are the alternatives? What would you like to see? Or do you think it's easier to just get a new style quarterback?
Okay, let me go here with this then. And I'm going to take the business out of it, because last night, and I understood where you were and what you were saying. So I'm going to play Xander Krause last night. With all that being out, and it's a question here. Should they bench him?
Well, yeah. I mean,
take the
I'll play the
business.
Sileo.
Play the business. Take the business out of it. Should they bench
business out of it? I mean, if this were, high school football, yeah, you'd probably bench him. Honestly, you'd probably bench him. College football, you'd probably bench him. I mean, you're not getting your playmakers involved consistently enough. You're struggling to move the ball through the air, consistently. You're now turning the ball over a lot. Your team's on a 3-game skid. Doesn't look good. Now I think Jalen has earned some leeway to be able to correct it. Yeah, I do. I think he's earned that, and I'll give him that. All right, but if you take the business out of it, I'll play you. Remember, you're underestimating my role on the postgame. I got to look at what everybody's talking about and make sure I get John and Sileo to give me an answer on what they think about the narratives around the team. I get it. I get why it doesn't make sense. I get the business part of it. And to be honest, we're probably never seeing Tanner McKee as a starting quarterback of the Eagles. I know a lot of people want to see it. Underdog, I know you want to see it. It's very unlikely unless Jeffrey Lurie steps
or Hurts gets hurt.
Well, yeah, but I don't even like. I'm not going.
No. I'm talking.
Yeah, but no, you're right.
I think you're right that you'll never see him as a starting quarterback.
But I do think the wild card here is that Jeffrey Lurie's probably more unhappy than people think. I do. Like you heard John, he's like, yeah, yacht shopping. He's happy with the Super Bowl last year. I'm sorry. I don't think that's how Jeffrey Lurie
doesn't agree with that either.
Yeah. And that's not what Angelo's thinking or Jeffrey Lurie's thinking. I'm sorry. It's not. This guy has dreamed of a prolific passing. This has been their number one thing they've coveted as an organization. The number one thing. He'll live with their offense when they're winning games at the clip they are. And Saquon Barkley's making history and he's marketed all over Madden and everybody wants to talk about the Eagles all day. He'll live with it then. You start losing games and you can't throw the ball downfield and you do it enough. I don't put anything past Jeffrey Lurie. He has shown he will pivot when he doesn't like the direction of his franchise. Sometimes I think he's been right in areas where it might have been controversial.
We're going to read your super chats. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. It's today, right? You probably didn't do it because you had a lot of work last night. Today's top 10 quarterbacks and top 10 NFL.
I could probably do it, though.
All right.
I could probably do it.
So I'm going to give you my top 10 teams. What do you think?
Go ahead. I'm going to try and do one on the fly. I got my old list, so I can kind of go off that.
Okay, you can move them around. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 10. I have the Houston Texans. Number 9. I have the San Francisco 49ers. Number 8. I have the Buffalo Bills. Number 7. I have the Chicago Bears. Number 6. I have the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 5, I have the Green Bay Packers. Number 4, I have the Seattle Seahawks. Number 3, I have the Los Angeles Rams. Number 2, I have the Broncos. And number 1, I got the Patriots. So here's the list. Patriots 1, Broncos 2, Rams 3, Seahawks 4, Packers 5, Chargers 6, Bears 7, Bills 8, 49ers 9, Texans 10.
That's a good list, Silz. I like it. I have a little bit different than you. Where do you have the Eagles if you did have them in? Like 12, 13? 11. Okay.
11.
Eagles are coming in around 12 for me.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm going to give you mine off the top here. I'm trying to go as good as it's tough, a little tough to do off the top, but Might be easier for me to go 1 through 10. Let me go that way. All right. I'm going to go 1 through 10. It's just easier for me to do it that way.
Take your time.
I got the Rams number 1. All right. I think they're the best team in football.
I debated that because do I really trust the Broncos? I think you're right.
I have the Broncos a little lower than you. I don't
But
see
the
them
Broncos
quite
and
the same way.
Patriots, do you really trust Bo Nix and
I trust Drake May.
May
The way Drake May plays the game is a lot more conducive to playoff success, in my opinion.
if you were going to play the Rams and the Patriots in the Super Bowl, who would you take?
Rams.
Okay, that's why probably mine's a little low.
Who was your one?
Patriots.
Okay, I got Rams 1, Patriots 2.
Okay.
All right. I think that's where I'm at on them. I had the Packers 3.
Okay.
I think the Packers have really come alive, and they're a sleeper team. I know that they're
playing better.
don't have as good of a record as the Seahawks, but I don't know. If I had to pick right now, Packers versus Seahawks in the playoffs, I think I'm taking the Packers.
I did what you were talking about yesterday. I went and took a look at some of the games that Love has been playing the last couple
You're
You're right. He is kicking ass.
Yeah.
Since the Eagle game, he has been kicking ass.
Yeah. I got Packers 3. I have Seahawks 4.
Boy, that's a sleeper team, isn't it?
That's a sleeper team, but I really have questions on Darnold and what Darnold.
I'm with you.
That team. Number 5, I have the Broncos, so it's a little low for their record, but I'm just a little weary of them. I like that defense. I'm not fully sold that that's a real Super Bowl.
Offense.
Yeah, I don't know yet. All right, now this is where it gets tough now. 6, I probably would go Bills. Probably go Bills here. 7, I'll probably go. I like the Bears. They're fighters.
Yep,
I like the Bears.
I love that team.
And I'm going to go NFC North again here. I'm going to go Lions. I know their record is not there.
They're out of the playoff mix right now.
I think that's a team that could get in and cause some problems in the playoffs. Might be better for them to be the underdog as opposed to last year where they were the top dog. All right. Then I probably go 49ers.
Okay.
Or no, let me go Texans first and then
Texans.
49ers.
Okay.
Texans 9, 49ers 10. And that would probably round out my top 10. Chargers, Eagles, Jaguars right on the outside of the top 10.
Like the Jags there too.
Yeah.
Here's what it would look like right now. Playoffs: Rams, Packers, Eagles, Buccaneers, Seahawks, 49ers, and Bears. So the Rams would get the bye. Packers, Bears. Who would you take in that?
Packers, Bears, like right now or playoffs?
Yeah, I'm talking playoffs. Like, who would you take in the playoffs?
I like the Packers there.
Packers. Okay. Who would you take here? Eagles or 49ers?
Eagles.
Okay.
Actually, dude, I don't know, man. This offense, I know people are talking about this Raiders game, and I get it. It's the Raiders. This offense is so bad. It will
Bro,
keep,
if you can't beat a defense
dude,
without
do you
Fred
not
Warner.
agree? It'll keep any team in the game. It doesn't matter who the hell you are.
I got it.
No? I mean, dude, they don't move the ball.
They don't. And by the way, they don't have Fred Warner or Nick Bosa. You can't beat that team.
I don't
Eagles,
know.
49ers. Let's go for shits and giggles. We'll go Eagles.
All right, go Eagles.
Buccaneers, Seahawks. I got Seahawks.
Yeah. Bucks are not good. Baker's playing really bad right now.
Yeah, he is
He's
not.
falling off the cliff. I think it's just gotten to him.
Absolutely here. Okay. So the Rams would play the 49ers.
Yeah, that's Rams.
Rams.
It's a good matchup for the Rams, actually.
All right. And the Eagles would play the Seahawks. What do you got there? I got Seahawks.
Yeah, I'd have to take the Seahawks. That defense is really good. I mean,
what do you got in the NFC?
I just question that Darnold. Like, what will Darnold do?
I got it. I'm with
Probably
you.
go Seahawks, though, yeah.
But Jalen Hurts looks like Sam Darnold right now.
Jalen Hurts doesn't look like Sam Darnold right now.
No, you know what? Then again, it's I don't know. Will playoff Hurts show up?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows, dude? Who knows?
Rams, Seahawks. Who do you got in the NFC title game?
I'd go Rams. I'd go Rams there. Yep.
Boy,
NFC West championship game last year was a NFC East title game.
Yeah. Personally, I think the Rams are winning the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I actually would agree with that. And I'm going to say this in honor of the late great Pat Callahan, who was hosted This Week in Pro Football right here on JAKIB Sports. Rest in peace, Pat. Died a couple of weeks ago. For those who did not know, he was a major Ram fan, and I think the Rams are going to bring home for Pat this year.
I like that, man. All right, what do you got? Okay, so Broncos would get the bye. Patriots, Texans. I got Texans.
Nah, I got Pats there. That Texans offense, I don't like that Texans offense that much.
Boy, I love that Texans defense.
That Texans defense is nasty good, man.
Man, they are good, man. So let's go with yours here. So you say Patriots. Okay. Jaguars, Bills.
Jaguars, Bills. I weirdly like the Jaguars in that spot, but I'm going to go Bills. I like that matchup, though, for the Jags. That Jags defense is good, dude.
I'm hearing you. Steelers, Chargers. Chargers. Okay. So it would be Patriots, Bills. What do you got there?
See, that's where I like the magic of Josh Allen.
Okay.
You know?
Bills.
Maybe you get the young gun. Give me the Bills there.
Okay. Chargers, Steelers.
Chargers and Steelers. Man, that's an ugly playoff. No, you already gave me that one.
No, this is the next.
Chargers and it would be Chargers and the Broncos, right? Broncos would be the one
Yeah,
seed, right?
Chargers, Broncos. Yes.
Yeah. Give me the Broncos there.
Okay, Broncos, Bills in the NFC title game. What do you got?
Boy, is that what the NFC is going to look like this year?
AFC.
Bills.
AFC.
Bills.
So in the Super Bowl, it'd be Bills and Rams.
I'll tell you what, if you're Josh Allen right now,
you might get there.
No, hear me out. Pat Mahomes falling off a cliff. Not the team is falling off a cliff. Joe Burrow right now is on the outside looking in. Lamar Jackson's falling off the face of the earth. Their team is not very good. I mean, dude, this is your moment, Josh Allen.
Bro, think about this. In the playoffs this year, you might not have Dak. Okay, $60 million. You might not have Lamar. You might not have Burrow. You're not. Who else is in that conversation there? Some of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league might not be in this year's postseason. Yeah, here's my quarterbacks now.
All right. Quarterback's going to be a little tougher.
My top 10 quarterbacks. At number 10, I got Patrick Mahomes. Number 9, I've got Knicks.
Ugh.
At 8, hey, dude, he is.
I know. He's in mine, too. I just don't like.
I know. I'm with you. Bro, the Broncos are 11-2. I mean, I had to. I got Justin Herbert at 8.
I like that. I got him a little higher on mine, actually.
I got Josh Allen at number 7.
Okay.
I got Jared Goff at 6.
Okay.
God, I hate this. And you talked me fucking into this. I got Jordan Love at 5.
Yep. Makes sense.
I got Darnold at 4.
Oh, that's too high.
I got Prescott at 3. Stafford 2, May 1.
All right, I got mine.
All right.
I like your list. It's not bad. I'd switch up a couple things, but that's why everybody's got an opinion. Stafford 1 from. I'll go top down. Stafford's 1 though. Everybody, give me Sam Darnold 10, Bo Nix 9, Jared Goff 8, Justin Herbert 7, Pat Mahomes 6, Josh Allen 5, Jordan Love 4, Dak Prescott 3. Drake May 2 and Stafford 1.
I like your list better.
I felt good about my list.
Yeah, I like your list better. I do, because I probably have Mahomes. Yeah, but man, they're such.
I know he's not played well.
And hey, I showed you that number. I was wrong. In the last week 14 between Hurts and Mahomes, you had 9 turnovers and no touchdowns.
Did you see the stat though of
between those two dudes.
I know. Did you see the stat though of I guess there's some sort of advanced metric where you can calculate how many of your team's points are by way of like the quarterback or something like that. Some sort of advanced stat. Mahomes' stat for that is like the highest it's ever been. Like they're basically don't score without him. Versus Jalen, like last year, Jalen was way low because of the running game and the defense and all those things. So I don't know. I mean, that offense is not that good. I mean, people talk about Rashee Rice. I feel like it's like a propaganda campaign to try and get me to believe that Rashee Rice is a top 10 receiver. He's a fine ball player. He's not better than Devontae Smith. He's not even close to Devontae Smith.
He's maybe a tad better than Jahan Dotson.
Yeah. Right.
He's
That's kind of how I feel it. I don't know. People are really talking up Rashee Rice, and I don't see it at all.
He looks better because look who his quarterback is.
Yeah, right.
Hey, dude, could you imagine Mahomes with AJ and Devontae?
Why'd you have to say that?
Man, God, fuck. Even Stafford. Man.
Imagine Mahomes behind the Eagles O-line.
How about this?
By the way, that's another narrative people got to get over. I mean, the offensive line has not been dominant this year. People are talking about the offensive line like they're the worst O-line in football. Guys, Jalen Hurts has 8 seconds to throw every play.
I don't believe that.
I mean, what are we talking about here? Jalen literally has 5+ seconds on every single drop back.
What do you think a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers would do with that passing offense?
I don't know. Aaron Rodgers just lost it a little bit for sure. I mean, he's still got a great arm, obviously, but a little bit. But he would do more than Jalen Hurts does, obviously. But.
Yeah, that's all I'm looking for.
I don't know if you'd win more games. Now, that's the case of I don't know if you'd win more games. You probably have some boneheaded offense.
I think the problem that Rodgers has now is that he doesn't have the wheels he used to get out in the perimeter.
Yeah. He had that running touchdown this week. But
He did. But, all right. Hit the like button. Let's get to these super chats here.
Yeah, we got some good ones here. We got some good super chats. Appreciate everybody.
Hey, how you feeling though? Before you read them, I mean, you still think they're going to win they're going to win the East and they're going to get to the playoffs. Right?
I'm not as sold on that as you and John are.
I never said I was sold.
The Eagles have 4 games left. If they lose all 4, which I think is very unlikely, if they lose all 4. They are not going to get into the playoffs. Everybody knows.
My issue is Dallas, not the Eagles. But does Dallas show up and win, or do they?
All right. Well, the magic number was 3 coming into Week 14, or no, after the Dallas loss. The Eagles have now played, and the magic number is still 3. Yeah. So if Dallas wins, who's Dallas play next week?
It's if I'm not mistaken, right, Xander? It's
the Chargers.
It's 3 to play 4. I think they do play the Chargers.
Who does Dallas play this week?
I believe they play the Chargers. Let me see. Dallas plays, what is it, week 15?
They play the Vikings.
Oh, they'll kill them. I don't know. They shut out Washington.
Washington blows. Remember your boy Big Z told you this in the summer. Washington was going to blow. Jaden Daniels is taking a massive step back. He doesn't look like very good when he's out on the field. Well, they might be better with Marcus Mariota right now. They stink.
Are you saying right now you're making a prediction that Jaden Daniels will never be a great quarterback?
No, don't put words in my mouth. I said it looks like he had a sophomore slump, majorly, as predicted. And the other thing I said is that they would never get. They would. I don't care what. I don't care what. I don't care why he had it. He had it as predicted by your boy Big Z.
Did it play?
And the other thing I predicted is that the Cowboys would finish 2nd in the East, not the shitty Redskins, not the shitty Communists. All right, they might not finish 3rd in the East. They might lose out and fall to 4th in the East behind the shitty Giants. All right.
Question. Green Bay, Denver. Who do you think wins that game?
Is that this weekend?
Yeah.
Excellent game. I like the Packers.
It's in Denver.
I like the Pack.
How about Detroit, Los Angeles?
Rams?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, good games this weekend.
How about Chargers?
Wait, I got to pick that one.
All right.
That's a must-win game for Detroit, kind of.
A must-win.
And if Matthew Stafford has a good game and they win that, he'll solidify the MVP.
And almost home field.
Yeah. Where is that game?
LA.
Boy, in a dome. That's like a playground for Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, it's
Give me the Rams there. Give me the Rams there.
Buffalo, New England.
Where is it?
New England.
Give me Buffalo. Josh Allen's on a run right now.
Chargers, Chiefs. This is all this weekend.
Dude, this is a good slate of games this weekend. And we got the shitty Raiders.
You're lucky.
Yo, if we lose to the Raiders, guys, if we lose to the Raiders, don't expect me to like represent the fans of the world. All right. All right. You're not going to like me if they lose to the Raiders. I promise you that now. Because I will not like this team if they lose to the Raiders. What was that game?
Chargers, Chiefs.
Battle of mid. Both of them are mid.
At Arrowhead.
I'm going to go Chiefs.
Last one. Ravens, Joe Burrow, Bengals.
Bengals.
Me too, man.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's playing good. I mean, he had those two costly picks last week, but
he did. Let's
get
Pumper.
What up, Pump? How about Jalen's 31 QBR? It's literally impossible. If you spike the ball every down, your QBR would be a 39.6.
I saw that stat. If you spiked the ball as many times as he threw it, you'd have a higher QBR rating than what he had in that game throwing the ball.
Well, it's obvious why he had the 4 picks, but holy shit, that's crazy.
That is a dirty stat, isn't it?
That is Pump. No wonder the Jalenites are in hiding, my boy.
Yeah, no doubt. Boy,
Pump,
they are
hiding. The Jalenites for a week, dude.
Oh my God.
Here's Rodriguez. What's up, brother? Appreciate your super chat. You sent a couple in. Thank you, man. Hurts don't want to run because he doesn't want to get hurt, because when Tanner comes in, it's going to expose him as the problem with the O. D-Gun report about Hurts holding them over a barrel makes sense. Yeah, I think you might be right about that.
No doubt. That looks like it's even more to the point now. Yes, sir, man. That report looks real now.
I will say to all the Jalenites listening, and I'm sure there's a lot of you, and that's all right. You're allowed to be a Jalenite. You're entitled to your opinion. I will encourage you all to not turn a blind eye to what has been happening, okay? Not only on the play of the team. I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about the Eagles control the media in a big way. We talk about it all the time here on JAKIB because I get calls all the time. People don't like you. John is certain about words he doesn't want to talk about, things he doesn't want to talk about. The Eagles control the narrative, or else they take your key pass. You have guys that work in that building or beat writers in that building, and the narrative from them has changed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying it means that they're out on Hurts. All I'm saying is they are opening it up a little bit more.
They're sharper.
Right? Jeff McClain writes in an article today, is it Tanner time? I mean, you had the reports last week about the run. You had D Gunn's report about Jalen. You had John talking about aloof. I'm not saying they're out on Hurts.
Bro, I was floored.
Keep an eye on how the narrative is shifting. The Eagles love to frame things up so they have an easy scapegoat. They love doing it. Yep. They love doing it. Keep an eye on it. That's all I'm saying.
I really was.
Howard Eskin's been saying this for months. And by the way, I don't believe Howard Eskin came on here a couple months ago for the first time and said that for just off the top of his head. No. I don't.
But I'm going to give you love there, man, because you went like this. Like about a week after you went, that thing might not be that crazy in a couple months.
Yeah, I did say that.
Here it is.
Here we are. Here they are. Here's Rodriguez again. What's up, brother? Thank you, man, for the $20 super. He said, don't you owe it to the other guys on the team to try and win? If you're the quarterback that's killing you and the team, don't you owe the coaches and the other players to bench them regardless of the money? Where's the accountability? Rodriguez, I appreciate your thought process, but no.
You're just, again, believe me, in a true world, yes.
In a meritocracy, yes.
Yeah, but in a in a dictatorship like the NFL, that doesn't work like that, my friend.
Yeah.
Okay, it just
I
doesn't.
appreciate the perspective, but
I do too, and I
51 million large doesn't work like that.
and no trade. Mo always
Yeah.
put that in there too.
Yeah, because and the other part of it is, I mean, if they were thinking about that, you're not going to put them on the bench to kill the value there. Michael says this is our Cardinals 23 game. We're losing to the Raiders.
No way. Raiders are a train wreck. Boy, look at Z's face.
I'm not.
Hey, Genty
Wait,
goes crazy.
Hang out. I
Hey,
listened to John.
Crosby and Butches. Who's guarding Black Bowers?
Yeah, Reed stinking ship, I guess.
Okay. They got a few players on that team, and they got
I know.
Pete Carroll.
I don't know. I heard John 3 weeks in a row. Oh, they're going to beat this team. Oh, they're going to beat this team. Oh, don't worry about the Bears. I guarantee they beat.
They're
the
not
Bears.
going to.
Oh, they're going to beat the Chargers.
No, Xander. They're going to win this game. They're not going to beat this team.
Big difference.
You bet it is.
Go Bird says, I had to work all day, so I missed the morning show. How y'all Hurts Glazers doing? You ready to admit he's trash yet? Who y'all blaming today? Oh, they're blaming people. Don't you worry.
No, you bet.
Hurts is problem one. All right, Hurts is problem one, no doubt.
Wow.
Here's Walkout. What's up, brother? Guys, I listened to WIP this morning, and they finally got around to saying the issues that you, especially Dan, pointed out months ago. You're way ahead of everyone. Bill, it's true. Sil's been talking about these issues for 5 years, Bill.
Hey, you know what? He just had a short life. By the way, the Jalen Hurts era has been spectacular. Okay. It may not end well for you, but it's been spectacular.
It has been. You got a Super Bowl. You got 2 NFC titles.
Yeah. Every year he's been the quarterback. He's been to the playoffs.
Yeah,
Bro,
it's been a really good era.
I wouldn't sit there and go like this. Well, the guys that, well, hey, the Carson Wentz era was a success.
I just know how Eagle fans think, Sills, and we're the only one in our division that doesn't have a dynasty. We have the least amount of rings in the NFC East. So people look at this team and this roster and they say, I know we got 1 ring and I know we're greedy, but
and I say that
this was our moment, though. This was our team. This was our 90s Cowboys.
Yeah,
this team.
I say it's because your front office gets in its own way. That you don't. I think you've left 2 or 3 Super Bowls on the table because of the way you do business. I do.
Walkout. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate you, man. Pumper again. So are we cutting our long snapper because of Missy Elliott? Are we scapegoating cutting a long? Yeah, they just cut a long snapper.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know why.
So Bob Lang was the guy that put the doll in, huh?
Was that what happened?
Yeah, I heard it was Bob Lang.
I don't think Howard heard that right. I think Nick just said, I didn't know because I don't go in the locker room. Bob told me about it.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll go there with that. I'll believe that right
That's
there.
what I thought it was.
Okay.
I didn't hear Howard fully, though. What did he say on the interview with pregame with Kelsey? Is that what he was talking about?
Yeah, he said that Bob.
Yeah. That I think Howard might have heard that wrong. It's all right.
Okay.
Here's Mo. What's up, Mo? Hurts has been horrible, but if not for Elliott, we beat Dallas. We're tied in the Bears game, and we win last night. Elliott killed us 3 weeks in a row. Mo, if you choose to blame the kicker more than the quarterback who has really struggled, then that's your prerogative. I won't agree with you.
Xander, let me read a 30 here, and then we'll get back to these, okay?
Remember, I did play 2 when you were cut out in Angelo.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Let's go here.
All right. I played 2. Mo, yeah, just don't agree, dude. But I hear you. Elliott has been bad. I agree. All right, but Hurts is still problem number 1 there. Sirico, what's up, Kimberly? I see 2 different teams: deflated offense and defense.
I was impressed with the defense last night.
I think she means deflated offense is one team, and the defense.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think that's what she means.
Yep.
Z, 96 Cowboys finished with 6 losses. That's true. They won 3 rings, though, in that era, dude. So, hey, roll. If we grab another ring, shit, you're right. No doubt. But it feels like a long way off this year, doesn't it, dude?
Yeah.
I mean, Ro Philly, you're a Jalen. I know you're not feeling like right now that this is a Super Bowl squad. You can't possibly feel that way. Here's Pump. I tell you why Hurts is scared to run. He sees a 6'6", 240-pound monster with a cannon arm behind him, and that dude's an MFer. His job is in jeopardy.
Well, offseason maybe. Hey, by the way, that Cameron Dicker
I'm disagree with you on one thing. Not that I think Tanner McKee's the next coming Not that I disagree vehemently that he won't be here in Philly, because I don't think he will. I think he's going to be a good quarterback somewhere one day. I think that kid's got skills, dude.
Why'd he go so far down in the draft?
It's a good question.
And again, Brady went 6th.
Stanford, I don't know. But I think Tanner McKee's got a great skill
Cameron
set.
Dicker guy. That guy's a fucking weapon.
Holy shit, dude. That guy's auto.
Like
that thing is like
94%
legitimately automatic.
94% success rate.
I mean, it came off his foot, and you're like, yeah, that's through.
Yeah, I know.
There was like not even a question.
And Eagles had that guy.
Here's Emmett. Hey, Silz, anything positive about the offense next year? NJ. Next year?
Yeah.
What are you talking about next year, Emmett?
Yeah, you'll have a new coordinator.
Oh, good. Another new one for the fans to scapegoat. I guarantee you, everybody. I take it to the bank. December 9th, 2025. Take it to the effing bank. If the Eagles fire Kevin Patullo and have a new coordinator next year, doesn't matter who it is, I 100% guarantee he will be they will scapegoat him, or the fans will hate him all year long. I 100% guarantee it.
No doubt, man. He's
Here's
hired.
Zio. Eagles just released their long snapper. Scapegoat for fake Elliott? Yeah, that's ridiculous. I think we got them all.
Okay.
Organizations fail QBs more than quarterbacks.
Yes.
Here's one more. Dallas Cowboys champ. Uh-oh. Dan, go watch Kenny Pickett versus Denver. He was eating.
Oh, God. Kenny Pickett's going to be the starter. Kenny Flickett. Big Z. What a great team to cover. I never in my wildest imagination. I can only hope they bench Hurts. Dude.
I want to cover a good team. Here's Mo. I'm not saying Hurts isn't the problem. When your QB is playing terrible, you can't miss out. Now that I agree. I get your point now, Mo.
Yeah.
You weren't saying Hurts isn't a problem. You're saying Elliott has costly. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Same with AJ.
Hey, by the way, here, Curtis, thank you very much, bro.
Oh,
Appreciate
Curtis buckled on me. All right, Curtis. Thank you, bro.
Hey, all right, Big Z. I appreciate you, brother.
Quarterback problem?
Philly.
Do we have one?
Always have.
Oh, man. That's like that. You ever seen the movie? It's like the red pill and the blue pill. Sileo just said, here's the black pill. All right. Here's the black pill, everybody. Take the black pill. It becomes easier. You've always had it. I feel like a double in that voice, make you got like the Gotham Batman voice or whatever it is. All right, Sills. Appreciate you.
All right, brother. Love you, man. Way to go.
Man,
Great work, too, man. Great work. All right, folks. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you, Big Z. Thank you, Joe. 2 to 6 tomorrow. We'll see you guys on the flip side.